Whenever you're ready, Judy.
All right. All right, so bringing the 5K subcommittee meeting to order at 5:32 p.m.
Oh, and was gonna take minutes. Sorry.
Was that supposed to do last time?
Somebody did it.
I
don't
think
minutes.
you would have been the first one. I think Mario came for the second one and he said he would. But I'll have to double.
My gosh. Well, then I am derelict in my duties. Okay, I'll take notes.
Thank you. All right, who's gonna call Fidel tomorrow and Tommy?
Okay,
Thank
cool. And his name is what?
Fernando Cabeza,
So,
Army. No, he's Marines, I'm sorry.
well, now he's can be trusted.
Okay, so some follow-up and cleanup from last meeting. And some new business, and then we'll go through some notes that I'll said, some tips and suggestions and ways to broaden the event. Bill Perez, did you ask Gary or Mike to call Minnesota about the status of working with local schools?
I did,
You did, cool.
and she said they'd be more than happy to assist, but the question was, how many volunteers do you want? Remembering that last year, many of them participated as runners,
Mhm.
not as volunteers. So she said, give me a number, and we'll certainly we'll support you as best we can. So I said, I'm not exactly sure.
I think you guys know, like, with the size of the event and how many we can, as a guide, like, with all the things you do. Could you-
I think it's good to have extras on. Last year there was, again, I know it was like the first time we kind of did it more hands-on with this company, but at the end. A few of us were scrambling to pick up some things and stuff. I think that we just didn't think about the
Right.
events. So I think we can get to a good number of how many volunteers we'll need just to cover all areas and make sure that, we end it a lot faster in terms of like breakdown.
Okay, so we need set up earlies, and then I think that we should be fair enough to those wonderful potential volunteers, and maybe early shift volunteers and
And then
late
maybe,
shift
yeah.
volunteers, so set up volunteers and breakdown volunteers.
Yeah.
And potentially they can all participate, because we've earmarked 200, I think, student free passes, so they can also participate.
So set up, run, and when they're done, help with the dismantle.
At least like some setup run and then
Some run,
take
tear down, yes,
I guess.
Yes.
Just so we don't overload.
Yes.
Those
yep,
But what was the number,
kids.
do we have last year, roughly?
For volunteers specifically.
I have to go
I
back
feel
and,
like
I know it was the school. Right? The school that you confirmed.
It was with-
Private school.
oh, well, they helped, but they were really participating and sponsoring.
And we ended up
Hi.
putting 2 guys, I don't know. from
My
where, but-
Toyota guys, they brought their water and they were helping.
Yes, them, but also somebody else that I guess it's like they're involved, like residents. I had never met him. I met him on the spot and he's very nice and helped us with stuff.
Was it my husband?
But I forgot who it was.
We probably.
Yeah, we kind of like picked up drivers.
We probably need about, I'm gonna just be safe and commit 20 for the setup.
That sounds.
And then have 20 for the tear down, and then the ones that don't show, it'll soften out to being probably enough.
Okay.
So
We
I
could
would
just
say,
work on like what
40.
stages to put them at.
yeah, and just, we'll give them like,
So 20 to
maybe you
7.
can do a color coordinating kind of, blue team, red team, white team, red, white, blue
Switches.
team.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll have a Marines, Army, Navy, Air Force team.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Do up
Since-
bands,
Yeah. That's a
little
good
like
way to-
bands, and then it says Marine team, and then Army team will be green.
Let's do that.
And we'll
Air
have a
Force
Marine
blue.
head that volunteer station and somebody else do that.
Sure, we can get a young.
Like
Marine.
I'm saying,
I'm planning on running,
um,
hopefully.
I guess that's a good way to
Yeah,
coordinate that.
I
So
mean, it will be actually kind of. If we get,
I guess that's what I
still
mean.
wait- I'm
That's
still
what you
waiting.
report to.
I'm still waiting to see if I can get some recruiters there and stuff for all the services,
police.
police. So I have to,
And then I'm sorry, the run is what day?
December 9th,
Yes, December 9th.
Saturday, yeah.
okay, so 40 volunteers we're gonna make. Armed Forces teams.
And what time will they be showing up and what time will they be?
I think we need them there, I would say it's 7. Aisle, 7,
To have them,
For time.
for the startup early people,
We
the
got there.
setups. It was
we
dark,
got there like 6.
was it that early?
Yeah.
It
like there
was because,
It was when.
yeah, I don't think we know yet, if I'm being honest, because it's gonna depend on how the event's gonna.
Somewhere between 6 and 7, we'll figure it out,
Yeah.
we'll narrow that down, we'll talk to Ruben again,
Yeah.
see what time he gets there.
When we nail it down, maybe, as I was saying, we could do like a volunteer form and have them fill out, like, so we have all information. If we need shirt sizes, I don't know if you guys figured it out, but just thinking. Shirt sizes, we'll have them sign like a waiver and that will all be part of it. We keep it.
Okay, and actually Larry was gonna coordinate that effort too for the volunteers, but I guess we kind of have a conflict here between this month.
No, we're on the same.
We're all on the same page, okay, good. More follow-up. The logo, Jonathan has, the new refresh logo got done and given to him on the 29th of June, contract status is done. Bill, did you speak to the benefactor? I mean, to the nonprofit that we talked about, talked to the guy in Texas?
Yes,
How's that going? And what you were, I think we were in a quagmire with,
who was allowed to go?
right, and who's a combat? who's-
Yeah, and then he basically said you have to have the combat action badge or combat infantry badge or combat action weapon.
Are you
So
good with that?
I'm fine with that, but that does limit it to certain people, I mean, that'll be several. I think, I don't know, just looking at the American Legion, maybe we'll have 6 or 7.
I think we have enough money for about 10 or 15.
Okay, so at least we can get 6 or 7 for that.
Okay,
If they all go, but we can also find other folks who may not be part of the Legion who have a combat infantry badge and combat action badge.
Are
We
we
have to
gonna do
vet them.
that?
We're gonna vet them though, make sure we go through their DD 214 because I may have already discovered somebody who's part of the American Legion who's may not even be a veteran and completely falsified a DD 214. It was so glaringly apparent.
oh my
I
God.
don't know why, well, Gary only has 3 years in the Army. I have 32 years in the Marine Corps. And totally different, set of skills.
But that, is that, I still got money with it, is that for last year's dollars or for next year's?
That was the
Last
next
year.
question.
Okay.
That was the next question. Are we gonna do it again?
No,
No, we're
we
talking
talked
about
about a
your
different organization and it's all done. I
Okay,
got the 501c3 authorization. That's incorporated by the state of Florida. I was on a podcast. It's a 503 veteran story hour. But I submit this for this is the EIN.
what's the mission statement of the 501c3?
Oh, well, it's right here in the bylaws. Let's see. Blah, 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 this is legal. To educate children on reading, good citizenships, and adults on responsible citizenship, history, civics taught by honorably discharged veterans with a background and been screened and trained. So it's to teach children on reading and good citizenship, civics, patriotism, and adults on responsible citizenships, history, and civics taught by honorably discharged veterans. So it has, actually, there's a course outline for K through 3. It's 7 modules. 4 through 6 is also 7 modules. And right now, for the adults, we have only 3 modules because it's different. For adults, we have national security structure. We have federal government contracting. And we have, for the lawyers, law of war, for those who are interested in, St. Thomas Aquinas and all those guys, and Justin Bella and Justin Bella. So those classes are already ready.
Okay,
And I did a podcast with the Miami Lakes Chamber of Commerce. And we're going to be setting up, it's been done. And we're going to be setting up the with AC graphics, the website and the interactive stuff. So
so this is a Miami Lake space
It's Miami Lakes based, but it's gonna end up becoming probably, well, it's only be a Miami Lakes based because I can only go so many places. But when the goal is to grow it,
Right,
and that's why we have a training
Scale it.
program, scale it up. And so it goes to more public schools, but the goal right now is to hit MLK, eight through, K through eight. Our Lady of the Lakes, and the other elementary school, is that Goldman?
going to middle, high school.
Okay, high school. Whatever, is there another elementary school besides those two?
There's a middle school across from Lady of the Lakes.
Yeah, we won't be doing middle school.
Yeah.
We'll do up to sixth grade. You know, because then after that, they get a little jaded and, you know, it's, but we have an adult portion, and we're already set up to speak with Miami Lakes Chamber of Commerce. I just gotta ask Fred what classes he want me to give. National security structure or federal government contracting. And then I'm gonna meet with, Naib, who's now the Miami Lakes
Yeah, share the
chair of
bar.
the bar, and offer the legal class, you know, for those guys. I'm gonna see if I can get a CLE certified, so continuing legal education credits, see what the process is. And if I can, then I know the attendance will be much better because they get credit for their professional license. So we'll see.
Okay, so that was a lot of the details. Can we go back to the sellability of it to market it for our runners? To make them feel good that they're participating and their funds are gonna go to that. Sell
Well,
it
I
to me
mean-
that way.
I mean, from that point of view, what I would say to sell it to the runners is, you know, we're trying to create with children a sense of patriotism, love for the country, and a sense of national identity, you know,
And awareness campaign.
who we are as Americans, why certain things like the flag mean things, you know, what are our national emblems, and what's the national bird, and, you know, all those kind of things. And do it in an educational and fun way, and have veterans go out as well to instruct them, because they're basically the keeper. They're the last keepers of, you know, basically what's sacred to the nation, you know, and what makes us from coming from all different walks of life and different, you know, places, all unite for a common cause, you know. And so to me, that's really the, you know, when we have all these different, you know, events for different categories of people, you know, African History Month, Hispanic History Month.
Right.
There's only one organization that's combined of all that, it's LGBT pride. And they all unified in one mission, one cause, which is defense of the nation, you know, defense of the American people. And that's in the military, and all those groups come together. And so, I mean, I think it's one of those things, if I was going to sell it, I would say, you know, this will help teach kids why America is one of the greatest countries that's ever existed on earth.
There it is. That's it.
It's, you know, I love it. I really do. I think it's great. It's awesome. The only thing that I, in the back of my mind is bipartisan. I can just picture like, you know, when you're saying, wow, you know, that they give me
That's it.
Well, you know, the thing is that what I'm
Save
still.
it for everybody.
Well, here's the thing, you know, we're teaching the modules for the kids. One's about the flag, you know, and that's pretty much nonpartisan, Betsy Ross, you know.
I
We
think
go
if
through,
the second you start getting into.
Yeah,
Any, I
it's-
wouldn't
it's
say
never-
that
it's
because
never-
then you're never.
it's
yeah,
never
then
gonna be
it should never be a
political, it's never
piece.
gonna be political.
Yeah.
no,
I
but
mean-
will be interpreted as being.
Well, people will interpret things the
Everyone's-
way they want to interpret things, everything's subject to interpretation, but. You know, that's one of the reasons why we have a strict curriculum and we actually have a script, you know, that the instructor must follow. And also, you know, well, we're gonna murder board each instructor to make sure that they don't go down the, you know, whatever wacky rabbit hole of politics they may have, whether left, right, or center. That's not the point, you know, they're not gonna comment on current president, current administration, past president, past administrations, you know. It's just the facts, you know, here's the current flag, why is there 13 stripes, why are there 50 stars, you know,
Right,
what do these colors mean, you know? These are uncontroversial, you know, these are facts. Here are the previous flags, you know, don't tread on me, why? Because there's a rattlesnakes, and rattlesnakes are not in England, you know, that kind of stuff, you know? And you know, and then there's a few other flags, you know, and when were they first used and why, you know, and then we sing the song Grand Old Flag from this K through 3, you know, I teach them the song. I don't have to sing well, there's music,
I have a few questions for you, and I guess this will help, I guess Jonathan visualize how we can promote this, if this is organization that you guys go forward with. Just so that I'm understanding, is it a selling point of the organization that we would be providing maybe jobs for veterans? Is that
Well,
also a
you know,
thing or no?
it is, I mean, if it expands, it will provide a stipend and employment for veterans, but you know what else it's gonna do really to help veterans?
It's gonna give them a lot of purpose.
It's gonna give them purpose and it's gonna give them joy.
Joy,
Because
purpose.
nothing
and-
makes you
employment.
laugh more than hanging around with second graders. When I did the, I was asked by West Hialeah, Gardens Elementary School to do career day, and they sent me this whole huge script. How much does a sergeant make, your major make, and all, you know, rank, you know, how much, what the rank system is, what do you gotta be to be what? And there's all this stuff, and I'm doing second and third graders, right? And years of training, education, blah, and I put together this slideshow. Took me an hour and a half to put together to go really detailed. And I'm thinking second graders must be really sophisticated now. You know, I remember doing second graders, picking my nose a lot, whatever. And I go in there and I talk about, you know, I'm in my uniform. I say, hey, I'm a Marine. I show them the Marine Corps emblem. That's the ocean. So we go on ships and stuff like that. Have you seen any sea monsters? And that's what I got.
Yes.
For 15 minutes, I got sea monsters, sea monsters, sea monsters. I'm thinking to myself, this just got flushed down the toilet. Thank God I had a lot of good pictures, you know. So I pulled up the pictures of different weapon systems, you know, Reaper drones, you know, the Striker vehicle, you know, the Osprey and all this stuff, the Cobra helicopter attack helicopter, you know, and I'm like, what's this called? The kids will go, oh, helicopter. And I go, yeah, it's a Cobra attack helicopter. And then one kid, why do you name them scary names? I'm like, well, because Fluffy Bunny and Happy Butterfly does not instill fear in our enemies. I mean, that's the kind of stuff in second grade, but I left there, you know, and at the end, you know, I passed out flags and we talked about the flag, and I wasn't planning to do that, but I realized after the sea monster thing, I go, plan B. So I passed out the flags and we talked about what the flag meant, you know, and they're all waving it throughout the whole thing, and they all run up and hug my leg and, you know, wave, you know, and stuff like that and take a picture. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to myself that, you know, for a veteran, that's just, it chokes you up, you know, it still chokes me up. And, you know, that just helps you see the future is bright. You know, so we're filling a gap that's needed in education, because like I've told people, when I went to school, you know, just about every teacher was either married to a veteran or was a veteran. And they're no longer that way. So it's not the lack of will, it's just the lack of knowledge. So we're filling in that gap of knowledge, but we're also providing that stipend for that veteran. You know, it's not much, but you know, it depends on how much we can fundraise, but it won't be much, you know, maybe $100 per each thing. But, you know, it's you know, cover gas and cover the time they spent preparing and spending there. And, but it also provides that emotional lift that a veteran needs.
Emotional lift.
So, you know,
It
makes it rewarding.
how do we word this for fundraising? I mean, what do we call this?
They're on it. Let them do that. They're good at that.
I think, it would, again, if this is the organization that you
Yeah.
guys go with, we obviously have to get you guys together with Jonathan, Jacob. They can take your pictures, videos, and putting us.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna be meeting with Matthew
Okay,
next week, and we're gonna be working on stuff too, so he can come up with ideas, since he does,
Yeah.
you know, digital marketing too. But it's basically, it gives veterans a chance to teach why America is the greatest nation in the world, why they chose to give up years of their lives to serve. And it gives them a little stipend, but it also allows the children to learn the importance of service, the importance of patriotism, and what unites us as opposed to what divides us.
I
So
think
it's
your last
awareness,
sentence is good.
What unites us.
it's
Yeah.
awareness, it's service, it's, you know, purpose, educating.
Yeah.
Like
What unites us more than what divides us.
Yeah, legacy.
You know, when you talk about tunnels to towers and you say that in contribution, raising whatever, that brings things to mind to people right away, just a couple of words. So what I was asking, is there a couple of words, maybe to sum this up, that'll give it, you know, like a key, keywords that we can use when we're fundraising.
The theme is going to be connecting veterans with the community. So it's going to be connecting something veterans and then community. I
And
think would be.
kids,
Yeah.
community, veterans and kids.
Yeah,
I
That's it,
guess it's
because
more like a
also adult.
brainstorming session and we'll have to.
yeah,
actually
we'll have to
talk
do a
about-
separate one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah,
Because I do agree with Larry. I think unfortunately with that age set, not the elementary school kids, but if you're appealing to the younger runners. And they see a lot of flags,
Right.
American, American, American. They're thinking, make America great. And we have, the election right around the corner. So there might be some resistance because they're like, well, I'm not gonna support, whoever. So if we make it more about the community and the veterans. And then instilling, gotta get away from wrapping ourselves too much in the flag because it might be misperceived perhaps.
that's
And then-
kind of a sad statement though, Michael.
it's true though, he's right.
I mean, it is reality. I mean, reality is reality. I mean, that's,
the intent of
but it
the
still
course-
doesn't mean it's not sad.
It is very
But
sad.
the intent of the course is to move people away from that. Just because you believe in the country doesn't necessarily mean you believe in partisan
Yeah.
politics. So
Yeah.
maybe that would be, one of the benefits. of
I mean, that's
the
one of the things that we have to emphasize is this is completely nonpartisan. It's just factual.
No, just don't even say it.
Educational.
Yeah, that, we shouldn't even talk.
We
about
shouldn't even address it.
No,
Yeah, it's not a.
I mean, even the adult courses,
Veterans,
I'm taking it
Right.
from,
Foundation.
what we used to teach at Marine Corps University for command and staff college, so it's pure information, it's not. Has nothing to do with it. It's the same whether it was a Democratic administration, Republican administration, et cetera,
I do have a question for you in terms of, I don't know if I'm wrong, it sounds like it's a new. Nonprofit,
Yes,
I guess the question is, I know you said that you brought this to a certain school before, is this approved by the school board? And I'm just asking because then we have to move on getting approval, like, is it something that's already established within
the answer to that is no,
Okay.
and yes, I already made inroads and spoken to, the chief of staff, Roberto Alonso, so I just have to set up a meeting. What I was waiting for was a 501c3, which I got 2 days ago.
Okay.
So, and now that I have that, I'm gonna contact him and reach out and show him the syllabus I have for K through 3. I got to develop the K through 4 through 6, and it's a little more sophisticated. And then get approval, but I think it's gonna be by each school principal.
Oh.
So I'll find out.
Also.
Yeah, I'll find out from
So-
Roberto Alonso's chief of staff as to what the proper process.
Oh.
So,
And maybe something, encourage, you're saying now 70% of the people eligible, they're within military age to join are not eligible for various.
well, that's
reasons.
usually because of obesity and it's usually because of physical reasons. It's because of obesity and being overweight. That's primarily the reason. So we have a terrible epidemic of
We can-
obesity. And
Put that in your program too.
I don't know. I
Later.
mean,
Get them starting early. Go run, do your 5 miles.
Well, the idea ties in with 501, I mean, with our 5K, because it's it's a physical thing.
Well, that's why you were saying for the coolies, we were gonna offer them free
Yeah.
coffee to get them ready, or potential coolies. or-
Because that's the problem. I mean, we have, like the Army and every other service, we have something called the physical conditioning platoons at boot camp.
Foundation.
At least in the Marine Corps boot camp, you can only be like 30 or 40 pounds over. And
And when
folks are
you
showing
lose
up that
30 or
are,
40 pounds.
you can be 30 or 40 pounds over it, but then you're sent into physical conditioning platoon until you drop that weight before you put into regular training.
Oh.
We used to call them the Fat Man Squad.
And so, but the problem is, they can't ship until they're about only 30 pounds over, and there's folks that are 80 pounds, 70 pounds, 100 pounds. And it's just very, very serious. If you take a look at the stats, we were talking about this at the executive offsite, and I know we're going off topic here. Generals and colonels were like going, we're having a problem making recruiting goals, and they even talked about it at congressional hearings. The general officers, said that our biggest national security issue is making recruiting goals due to the obesity and overweight epidemic. So anyway, let's get back on
Very
topic.
interesting, okay.
What's the height weight?
It all depends on
You'll
your
make
height weight. You would make it.
Okay.
You may be underweight. They would have to feed you double
Is
rations.
there other camp
That
for
feels
that?
better than.
The funny thing is, there is, when I went to boot camp, we had more kids who were underweight
Skinny
than
boys.
overweight. You know, and so they were on double rations, and if you're overweight, you're on half rations. So,
Oh, my God.
but now it's, you don't see anybody on double rations.
So, okay. So I think we have our keywords.
Good, okay, so you can work with
I
that.
would like you to send me like the mission and all that, so I can.
Sure, I'll
Actually,
send you the whole,
But
Yeah,
I think
watch
that's.
the video.
just in case, yeah, it's
Yeah, the
also
video.
public records.
yeah, I'm gonna send you all the.
I think I have, I think we have our directive.
Excellent.
That's good.
And
And that,
that's an awesome mission.
And this is because we're like the seed money for it, right? You don't have no money in it right now.
Right, this, well, this.
This-
Well, except what I put it in,
and-
This creation of it, we are.
remember this goes back to our report to council, we're gonna update them.
yeah,
This is
okay.
Good.
I mean, my
It's
only
my-
concern is,
it's
I don't wanna vote on it, obviously, because I'm part of
You
it,
can
you know.
say the
So
vote.
I'm abstaining, so I mean, I'm only gonna put into the report to council if the entire committee of.
Well, of course,
So,
yeah.
It took us 3 years to get somebody to give us money to, so it's
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, that's good.
yeah, especially if I can get a stipend to some of these guys, because that would be, they'll love this.
Things you can do in accounts.
All right.
Accounts, ring bell, honor winners, speakers, I mean, a lot of so many things you can do. It's amazing.
If. So one topic that I don't know if you're gonna get to it, Judy, but, the last rate that we need to figure out for the pricing would be the students after the 200. Free, because we discussed, 200, get it free, cool, but what about 201 that, maybe missed that cap? What's that dollar amount? And we tabled that, so before the website launches. And because of that, before any sponsorship packages go out to, businesses, we need those pricing.
So that's the last pricing we're missing.
That and any special, like,
Didn't we
Holiday.
bring the pricing and stuff?
We did
we
it,
did-
25, 30, 40, those with dates, early bird, early
or
bird
we
final.
tabled discussion on the student price.
Yeah, I think we got a rabbit hole with that.
Oh,
But we do have the ramp up. But we tabled the student, again, student number 201 that missed the free.
Right.
tickets. What's that dollar amount? I don't think I have any.
Any
Suggestion.
you don't have any suggestions?
It ramps up from what? Is
It's 25, 30, 40.
what's the amount to cover our cost?
Well, that depends, because our costs may greatly change after we speak today.
We had,
Somebody has a secret.
in the minutes, we had 25. 30, 35, it looks like. And that was what was written here. Meeting minutes.
I remember first, I had 25, 30, that might be
A typo.
it could be a typo. I don't think. Do you guys remember, do you have any notes on that? You're in here?
I thought 40 was the final number
That's
myself.
what I have, 40,
But
Well, that's what we agreed on.
25, 30, 40. Then those, we need to say those are wrong when we go to our committee at 6:30.
what was approved was 25, 30, 35.
It was,
Oh, all right.
fix my notes, I have 40,
I think it changed going out of the subcommittee into the full committee. That's
Yeah.
something we discussed.
okay, all right, 25, 30, 35. So for a student. It's. Doesn't matter when it is, kind of a student price, like a fixed student
Yeah.
price, yeah,
Fixed student, but only kicks in, of course, after the
After.
200.
so we need a fixed student price, okay.
Mhm.
We need to bring.
Again, I don't have this, like, an idea or a suggestion.
No, senior discounts.
No,
I seen you working after Memorial Day, you got it in you.
he runs the marathon, he runs the 5K.
Again, I don't know if we
I
start
don't
at,
know the cost per runner, that is the answer to your question.
Oh, okay, that's
Because
okay.
it's very, there's so, well, there's, yeah, it definitely goes down with being more runners,
Yeah.
but we're have additional costs that we have.
So anybody have a
contemplated yet.
suggestion for food
Yeah.
price, so I can put something?
I mean, then the metal, and how much was it, with, on Ruben's contract, because that's the only fixed price we can actually deal with.
Is it on the contract? No, because I think the contract is if we want medals, we pay that separately. This is just for the setting up of the event.
metals were.
He doesn't have it,
It was from him, but it was like separate from the contract. That was like an additional purchase.
but like, is
I can
his
put it up.
price fixed no matter how many runners we have?
I'm sure the
Um,
amount. I'm sure the amount change, like ups or lowers the metal price.
His contract though, for just his.
Oh, sorry, it's,
We-
yeah, it's a
yeah.
standard for
Flat.
up to a certain amount.
What's the amount?
Up to 1,000.
Okay, so we don't have to worry about that, we shouldn't be over 1,000, so, and that's how much?
6,500.
6,500.
I think that's just for the time.
$6.50 is the cost plus the metal, which is about, I don't know, $4 or $5. That's
I can tell you
$10.50
what
plus
we-
rabbit ears plus,
So I have the numbers up here from
yeah,
our breakdown, so we have 2345 for metals,
that
the
was 700, right?
50% for the timing itself, the shirts were 4700.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I need a numerator and a denominator, folks.
Sorry, I'll get it.
So we would know our cost, and we can say, yeah, student price is maybe $1 over cost, you know, something like that.
725.
Here over 8,000.
675 a shirt,
Because that's a good way to encourage fitness, right, Larry? We have
and the per
an
person is
epidemic of making
650,
cheap for students.
right? So you said 6,500
6,500 is the,
with that
for
cost.
just the timing, yeah. And that includes up to 1,000.
Right, we'll call it 650 then, but
You know,
it'll be more for,
With regard to I've had some conversation, but I haven't ordered samples yet. I'll pick up, they charge and send samples over and I'm in the lane. Are we talking 1,000 antlers with the leftover we use next year? Or are we gonna do a lesser amount?
It was also.
Probably talking,
700 was our kind of our golden number, and we got to six and change or so.
It was 700.
So let's say 700. And the metals 700.
Not everybody's gonna want to wear like antlers because it's not aerodynamically sound,
335 each.
you know, that's what all you,
Oh, 350.
you know, like
fast people.
going for speed,
So,
going for
Well-
sloth. I'm going for sloth.
yeah.
Like,
So what, are we 15? 10?
Well, about 1675 for the shirt, the race guide and the medals.
We're probably looking at about $1.50 for antlers before I get up down and so far. But a nice quality antler, you pay $70 for it.
1825 is our dead cost, 700, well, it's actually a little more because the race guys. 650. I don't know.
Well, let's make it $20.
$20 is
Student.
our cost. That's net cost.
That's for
But don't
student,
forget, we're not just gonna run money, we have something money that goes into our.
Right.
Into our pot.
but still, I think it would be good.
What do you think? $20?
I'm not worried about, you know, just.
I'm afraid, all the talk I had with Moritz last year, he's like, students have any money, they have no money, they're not gonna pay, they don't have any money. So there's, well, that was his position on his,
His position.
generation.
Well, we got 200 freebies, right?
so hurry up and sign up and that's
Yeah, and
or
then if
$20.
you don't, if you don't make it, it's $20.
$20, okay, there we go, so we're gonna put that.
Because that's low, that's less than
$20.
even, that's less than even pre-registration.
201 and onward, $20.
Yeah.
And that's anytime.
Yeah.
We run out of 200 tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
That's
this
fair.
is,
It's,
we need to vote on that.
it's,
Can
if
we
you,
put that
if you
for
miss
the
it,
vote?
you miss it.
Yeah, let's, there's a motion on the table to go.
No,
for-
not here,
Oh.
when they're here.
Ultimately.
Well, then you have to vote either, and then take it to the full committee.
Oh, yeah, let's vote here. I don't think we have to do that here, but we can do it. Do we have to vote here and then vote there? Or we, no, it's just like to create.
Yeah, you're just
Oh, that's
workshopping
for that
that.
workshopping. There's no official vote.
Yeah.
Just make a note saying.
I would-
It's like an overlay, Robert.
I will-
Well,
no, no,
I
know, so you don't spend your entire.
I make a motion to have a fixed student price, $20 per student after the 200 free passes have been exhausted.
I second that motion. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay.
So we'll present that.
Okay,
to the-
community,
And any like special holiday discounts, I think we only kind of discussed the week.
I think that's it. I think that's all we should do. I mean, keep it simple.
That's it, yep. And you start discounting and then people pay get this and we go through all
Yeah.
that drama again, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
You know,
mean,
you-
obviously.
you know,
with
holiday
this,
discount.
You'll.
What
put this at the
holiday?
meeting as well.
Yes,
Actual contract.
yeah, we gotta put that on our agenda for this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Votes.
Okay, so need to,
Hold on, contract. Are we gonna already bring to vote the 501c3? Yes, yeah, right,
yeah,
vote, we need to vote to say yes to that as our
veteran
benefactor
story hour.
For,
for the
for
committee.
this upcoming.
And then so what is it? Need to vote on student pricing, need to vote on veteran story hour, need to vote on contract.
All right, back to my notes. We have I'm very angry. The moneymaker had wanted nothing to do with any of this. They didn't cover this one at all. I didn't find anything in all the issues, nothing. So
Last year,
I think,
Did they?
and I called her.
They knew, okay, they knew.
was it
Yeah, I
because
asked
we
her-
didn't have a better factor that was in?
No,
No, yeah, I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, I guess we can't speak on that because they're
Yeah.
their own.
No, I wanna know if she let us.
I asked Alex or Alexandra and she said, oh, we'll cover it when it happens, because I asked her to do it ahead of time. And then she didn't even cover it. Well, so I don't know if it's because I don't advertise in that, I think I'm actually advertising now, so we'll probably get a story. Next,
Here, I had a question. Would it be possible, you think, once we have, like we did last year, everything what this is all about, that we can have it put on a QR code, so when we go out calling and making them.
Yeah,
Just boom.
I kinda-
Give them the,
I think of a general event flyer with a QR code on it.
or the kind of get,
He'll put it in a flyer, he'll add the QR code on a flyer.
Yeah, it can be event information, QR code, and
And
if you're
sign up.
interested in sponsoring, yeah.
okay.
Sign up, event info, one side, QR code, if you're interested in sponsoring or contributing or donating, this QR code.
Yeah.
So I think it's a lot more effective. You hand a piece of paper to somebody, they throw it away, you tap their phone.
What would the sponsorship QR code lead to though?
Pardon me?
This, you scan the QR code for sponsorship and then where does that take
Check
you?
it out.
Well, let's say it's 30 something.
website doesn't have that, it's just the website's just.
Oh, I think we can add.
I
stuff
can
to the
add, I
website.
can
Yeah,
add
we
the
can add it.
document,
I believe we can add stuff to the website.
and our actually,
We'll check with Ruben.
I spoke a little too soon now, our QR code. The website that we use for QR code, we can. Link it to a website or we can literally. just
What
link
we
it
want,
to
we
a
need
PDF.
to simple.
We can just link it to the sponsorship packet. It's covered. I don't know why I didn't think. about
Okay,
that earlier.
So we'll have different, we'll have a
It's
QR
covered,
code for
yeah.
sponsorship, of a QR code for the
I
website.
know, yeah,
Sorry, okay.
yeah, it's-
I wanted, now that you're talking about advertising, that's one of the things I wanted to bring to you guys. I know last year, the agency that you were working with, I believe, I don't know if it was directly them or headquartered Toyota, you guys ended up doing 1,500, correct me if I'm
Yeah, I
wrong,
think
of
so.
advertising at the end.
Yeah,
I think we should get ahead of that now. And
Yes.
think about how much you guys wanna allocate to that type of advertising from now, and like that, we do it
it's,
more organic, because last year I feel like it was maybe rushed. Now that
Right,
we're doing it with
instead of-
time, we can gradually build up that advertising.
instead of
from now.
1,500 in the last 2 weeks, maybe it's. No, I'm still on a number, 1,750 or 2,000.
If we put
Well,
that same
day
effort
one.
that we did the last 2 weeks early, we're getting want to get a lot more back on it. Because like you say, every time you put a post out, whatever, it grows.
Yeah,
so vote budget for digital advertising.
yeah,
I will say, I know we put,
and we can start working.
I know we submitted, and we'll talk about it in the.
we have a recommended budget for the digital advertising.
I'll remind you guys that you guys have received some feedback. I know you guys ended up talking to the old organizer, and he, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, said that if it were him, he would add a lot more money. to
Yeah,
advertising.
actually, I have notes on that.
I know
I
we,
just think you remember that.
we voted to request, seed fund.
Yeah, $8,000, and I didn't get any pushback.
No,
Well, but
I-
we'll remind you that we can't say yes or no, obviously, because the budget hearings haven't happened, but as of right now, there was no. Like, there's not
right,
really
we're
feedback
still
on
in the
that.
process for the budgets, it's not looking like any increases.
That's an opinion, it's not a fact.
Right, that is an opinion, yeah.
Well,
Based on a
none of ours was really increases, though, basically using money up front. That's-
Well, in a sense, it's borrowing against ourselves,
Yeah,
correct,
I don't know, I know.
Oh, well.
I have too much stuff here. It's probably, I'm gonna guess it's probably somewhere around $2,000.
I would
That's
say
kind of what I'm
fair.
feeling.
but are we just kind of like,
and the beauty about Facebook ads is you can edit them as they're going.
do we have any advertising money? I
No,
mean, we're
that's-
talking about it.
You guys don't have.
No,
technically,
we
you
don't,
have
we don't
zero.
have a, we don't have a marketing line item, and that's the line item starts at 0.
So we make a vote during the meeting, get a marketing line item.
Yeah,
And
what
fund-
exactly-
And can
yeah,
we
we-
funds from another line into it?
I think you guys can technically request whatever you want to request, right? If we can't tell you not to. I don't know how that's gonna go. I think our initial suggestion just was as a committee on the event itself agreeing, hey, we do wanna allocate dollars towards advertising from the very beginning.
But we
That's what
did
had-
that, we
We
did that.
don't, we have to.
We already did that. We did that in the last meeting. We asked for $8,000 in seed money, which will include.
In the budget request.
It's more about, okay, so I guess I'm getting into details about how much we want to spend on the events. I know you're saying 8,000 seed, but I'm just saying, we as a committee are, and I'm only bringing this up just so you know, because I've had a few other committees that maybe were just not as involved in the expenses of an event, and then kind of it came to shock, like, oh, wow, we spent this much on an event, and I don't want that to happen with you guys.
Right.
So I want you all to be informed and collectively make that decision, like, hey, we do feel like we need to spend X amount of dollars on advertising for this specific event. Whether it's seed funding or sponsored, whatever, but we were willing to spend this much. And so we can follow that lead, right? Because if that's something we need to work on and start pushing out or
Like
and
a
build.
timing budget.
Yeah, and build it.
Yeah, I mean, so, I mean, I see two courses of actions. I mean, one, we can get the committee to approve, we need. And we kind of did that already, $8,000 was when we did the budget meeting. of
And the
seed
eight,
money.
the eight was like marketing.
Yeah, so it was a more, it was a,
But
I guess what we're gonna get at is let's pretend you don't get the 8,000. I'm just thinking, like, you
Yeah.
guys are still willing to spend X amount of dollars out of, the money that comes in
Cause
for
the
advertising.
85
Yes
was,
or no?
was marketing, shirts, medals, to start doing those things early.
yes,
Good, that's fine.
Right, but I think right now we're just talking about the marketing. That's it right now.
So let's take, how much do we
So
want to?
is it that
is
2,000?
You guys need
3,000?
1,800?
Yeah, 1,500. right
so
now.
2,000 of the 60, of the 85 or 8,000.
For now, yeah,
Yeah.
because we'll put more money in. We're
So
gonna
we'll
get
vote
sponsor money
for
put into the
2,000 of the, but
Right.
are we just spinning our wheels? I mean, my point is, we don't have a line number. We don't have a line item.
Right, we're kind of just
And
waiting
I'm
for
not
the
trying to
we're-
force
we
it,
don't
I
have-
just
we
want
don't
you
have-
guys to
I mean-
Organize yourselves in terms of expenses for this event
Yes,
alone,
yes.
Okay,
whether you have seed funding or not, that's why I'm not even getting into
My
that.
thing is the seed funding kind of. It almost becomes irrelevant once our first sponsor dollars.
Which is
Start to
gonna
come in.
come in.
What-
Do we have to,
Is the-
do we have to create a
That's a
line
nice
item?
way.
I got it. Okay, I got
Did you
you.
guys make a sponsor
I don't
package?
know.
Okay, I got you.
It's
I got you
technically
now.
not, you don't
Right, I
have,
want-
to, but it's a good way of keeping a manual log of where the expenses of.
I know we do, but I mean, we need money for metals, we have this money.
No,
As a committee.
Doesn't that all
should
come
be
under the
agreed,
8,000
though.
general fund? I mean, wouldn't it?
You're right, it comes out of that, let's say
Right,
they
so
give
we
you a
don't-
line item, but I'm just. I don't mean to confuse you with this, it's more about just as a committee, you guys are the planning committee for this, it's really organizing yourself of
Yeah,
so what we're doing with these event dollars for this event. Right,
It
if we wanna
basically
spend more
is saying-
on medals, we don't wanna spend
Yeah.
on medals, we wanna spend on this, like. As a committee, you guys need to make that decision,
basically just saying, we need to decide how we want to allocate
you're
our
just
costs
budgeting for the event.
and budgeting for the event, and basically we should
And
expect,
which will help you in terms of like.
Right, how we're gonna
estimating
use
how
the
many dollars you're
sponsor
gonna
dollars.
bring in.
How many shirts we're gonna buy, how many
Yeah.
medals we're gonna buy, any antlers.
okay, I got you. So we'll do a vote for $2,000 in advertising. And if we don't get that money from the town, we'll get it through, sponsorship.
I mean, the very first check that clears.
Yeah.
Probably the headquarters. I don't know.
So it's. Yeah, it's
I appreciate
first in, first out.
Would we be, Judy, would we be out of line asking that they've got, I know they're the competition for Toyota Hollywood, they're the key sponsors. But they've got a huge billboard over there in Miami Lakes on the side of, Fred's, Automall. They
On
got,
their
they
building.
got a giant electronic billboard.
You know who sees that? Me at my desk. It's way back. I have a billboard too, my friend of my dealership. Thank you though.
I was asking, yes.
That was very disputed.
Very, very sensitive topic.
And I'll get billboards. I'm gonna get billboards all over town. I mean, they get them from out front. He's already committed to doing it
Oh,
for free.
wow,
There you go.
I answer that. Shut it out.
Well, for donation.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sponsorship.
Sorry, I mean, this,
What's next, Steve?
next.
She's way ahead of you, man. Just sit down, be quiet, drink your coffee.
Some additional items that Isle had brought to my attention. So I use booking a reindeer mascot that follows the event theme, booking a Santa Claus. and then
Reindeer mascot I wonder what kind of mascot that would be.
We got a dog
I
for
say,
him.
And then
yeah,
this-
a dog with,
A podium set up. I'm sorry, I have my ink right
and then
now.
this,
Yes,
a Santa
Like
dress.
a winner's podium,
as a photo op.
as a winner's, a
That is
a
cool.
podium for the winners.
Oh, that is a great idea.
It would've been
We're-
We can even sell the
Yeah.
sponsorship.
Just so everything.
Yeah, sell it, so. Put it in front of the step and repeat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's sort of the end of the, because after people finish, we're trying to corral them into the park. And that's where it will be sponsored booth.
yeah.
That photo op will be a kind of. the
So we're talking mascot or the
And we talk-
run,
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
Can Tony be the Santa Claus?
Which Tony?
Tony on the council? Doesn't he?
He's getting skinny.
Oh,
He has a surgery. He's not gonna look much like Santa Claus.
he's the one that got me on the committee. He's the one that, I guess, put my application through. Anyway,
So then the winners,
winner's podium. So I would say we contingently, can we vote on it, but we need to get like a budget or? we
No,
don't have to say
again,
all
it's just ideas to start the conversation around what we want the events to look like, upgrades, I would say, from last year. And if it sparks conversation between you guys and gives you guys other ideas that you come up with, I mean. Again, all ideas to consider when it comes to budget at the end of the day.
Yeah, because we don't have a quote for the.
Yeah, we don't have quotes for anything, but if we can start bringing closer to the ideas you guys want to incorporate.
So yes on are we a yes on the mascot, on the reindeer mascot?
we're just gonna have a reindeer kind of walk around.
It's just.
No, again, this is an
We're gonna
idea,
have
you
someone
guys.
dressed
don't
up.
have to-
We're gonna have,
You can come up with new ideas.
Well, hopefully Chick-fil-A will bring the cow.
we're gonna have somebody
And we'll
dressed
have-
up as a reindeer, maybe?
We need a
Reindeer
reindeer.
costume.
Get the Rams and give us a cow, put Amazon.
That's
Those are,
cute.
yeah, those are ideas.
But we'll have the cow, we'll put
Like,
reindeer
you
animals
can
on the
have a
cow,
cow.
it'll be a rain cow.
I like
Anyway,
that. The
we'll
Chick-fil-A
have-
cow will be
And
our
my mascot will
reindeer.
be there, my pig will be there, I haven't asked the dog to come back yet, but she probably will.
Put the antlers on the pig,
Nails and everything,
that's what I think.
okay, so maybe not, but it's cute though.
It is a good idea. I think we're gonna have something will come up as a mascot.
That's cute.
I'm thinking a Christmas pig.
And then setting up a first aid
That's not
AED
cooked.
station, which would be part of the school. I could actually have a Hialeah Gardens Middle, I just had them train us. We just got our AED CPR training at our dealership for the past 2 days.
Awesome.
And
Just so you know, I kind of, when I sent you that, I sent an email to the Brianna Vergara Foundation, because I know they do the AEDs and the course was, they're the ones that first certified that course, I believe, the one that we're running for this. So I emailed just to see if it's something they would be interested, are they even available? I haven't gotten a response back, but the second I do, I'll let you know.
I'll wait until I hear back. from
So
you.
you're talking about
But I think
AED,
you can incorporate both, right? Because they do AED and the other thing could be like, first aid, other type of stuff.
But that would be
AED
like- we
stations
wouldn't
and
pay for
first
that.
aid.
That's gonna be.
Yeah, ideally we'd want, I think it's just to elevate
The school. or
experience in
whatever.
case it needed a kid trip and. Which is me, I don't know.
Well, I don't. you
And then
want- you want
police,
it-
can we ask officer, is there any,
Yeah, but,
will anyone help us with that, like to have people on site for that?
and I'm sure we have to run this right, like, just make sure we're, okay, we have to sign anything, we'll run it by the attorney, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're talking about first aid stations and AED stations?
Just one.
Okay, one.
you just need it needs to be within 3 minutes of the person that needs it. That's there's.
Do we have watering stations on the run? like
Yes.
Yeah,
last
that's,
time?
Yes.
I think that's in the contract.
Okay,
Beer garden, I'm kind of
Yeah.
saying it passed for me, but you guys want a beer garden for runners who are 21 and over, they have beer at 9:12 AM.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Okay.
And you guys will judge me because I drank
Get
beer
people-
after my fight.
Hydrated and they're gonna add alcohol. That's never a good mix.
Yeah, I don't.
Dehydrated and adding
I'm sure
alcohol
after
is
a
not a good
5K, I would be not wanting.
And
Yeah.
then branding barricades with high level sponsor logos, I love that idea, that's great, I just sell the sponsorship levels even better. Branding countdown mile markers, love that too. Floor decal near start finish line with the event logo, that's cool. It's just so-
The only point that Jonathan brought up is that kind of would be a nice like touch for the event in terms of putting the reindeer run logo on it, but you wouldn't actually put a sponsor logo because.
I
I get
wouldn't
it,
want my
yeah.
parents' logo being stuck
being
on it
stuck on it,
mildly,
So just
That's
something to
my
think
only
about.
brand.
Oh,
but
Yeah,
at the same time, it's like,
but I can see his point, so.
visibility,
Like,
beautiful.
imagine
It would not-
reindeer run and then, headquarter Toyota logo and, sponsor from 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And I do want to mention.
But just for the last maybe 200 feet,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of course, I don't
Or all
know.
the
The reason the barricades also is, we felt like people need to be guided into the area. We felt like people that weren't running were getting into the runner's way, and I think we should.
No, I think that's a
avoid
good
that.
idea. I think that's a good
Yes.
idea.
Yeah,
It'll-
And
it's-
also, we had the event very spread out. Again, I know it was the first time, but the event felt very spread out. I know that
That
was.
field was so
comment.
big, yeah.
Yeah, so we should kind of corral the runners to kind of go, the way I've seen it done before is. They're forced through the barricades to come in one way and to, and exit that same way. And when you're exiting, you're forced to pass by the same tables that you would get handed, your
Are you-
medals at and your post snack.
Are you
Like banana
thinking
or-
barricade company or something the volunteers are gonna do?
So I believe, I guess we'd have to find out, I don't know, I know that for the Veterans Day Parade, it's like a barricade company that does it.
Right. And
So I don't
that's-
know if there's a
That's
company that will
makes sense.
allow volunteers to do it, I don't
But
know.
that's why I said like the last 200.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the entire course. It's very much for the
Just the
beginning of
Just
the
that
guide people
Yeah, like-
right there.
Oh, I got rid of the
the
tag.
guide people and encourage
Right, but the company
spectators
comes
to
up,
be
they
on the
set them
side
up,
rather
they
than.
come and they pick them up when the event's over and they set them.
Yeah, like all the
Yeah,
barricades
yeah,
you see
you
in
do
this
it.
photo,
Yeah.
all the barricades you see in this photo are the only ones that would be on the course.
Yeah, I
in
like
my-
that.
in
I
my
like that. I think it's
imagination.
Could this be the same company that supplies the cones and stuff for the blocking the streets?
Yeah, we can ask them for a quote. We'd have to do, you're saying the ones that do it for the Veterans Day Parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd ask them for a quote and we'd have to do a walkthrough realistically and show them what we're looking to do.
Hi.
We do a preliminary walkthrough and maybe they can give us a quote and then like that we bring it back to the committee, like, if it even makes sense, right?
It makes sense, a good idea.
Appreciate the readiness.
Plus, again, that's something else to sell, the sponsors having their logo, whatever one they're advertising on the barricades.
like,
Yeah, that's what we.
Yeah,
were
we just
thinking.
want
And of course, that same thing will be, that'll be photo ops, it'll be in the newspaper.
Yeah,
it'll be something.
parade.
That naturally gives us the
Maybe
ability
money
to
they
sponsor
can-
this.
right.
Yeah, for sure, I'm like, but, I can't get used to the old clean shave.
It would be,
No, you look very.
You see some young,
it's gonna be nice to have, it's gonna be nice to have sponsorship present. I think I spoke about this before, let the natural sponsorship presence. So, you know, we don't have to rush. Oh, let's
We didn't get a.
put a logo on
Yeah.
a photo, which ruins the photo. As long as the logo is in it, like your polo,
Naturally
like
branded.
you're
with the
interacting with
event.
runners, like
Right,
you
right,
are
exactly.
for that at that point.
Can
So,
you do me a favor? Can you like take your mock-up? Can you make a mock-up so that when I go to sell this to sponsors, you could put.
of this,
Yeah, make a, can you do like a little mock-up and put some
I have
sample
one in
logos
Photoshop.
on it? Cause I wanna sell that.
That's a great idea, Drew, that's awesome.
I wanna bring that picture with me.
I hear something.
These are the bridge.
Is there phone?
Bill, I think you're. phone.
Oh, I could be wrong.
No, it's still spelled,
I'm sorry.
That's easy to do.
I do hear something.
Yeah.
Agreed.
but he's really clever.
It's on.
And just so you know, that directing them out, of it, the idea would be that we're directing them to like this main area.
So it's probably.
And that's where we would have
what's going on outside.
The check-in for those who didn't pick up their packet in advance. The AED station, if we have it, the sponsor booths, like everything, the podium, like everything where it's all.
Set
in
it up
one
to the
spot.
end where not all back like it was.
And not all spread out, like
Right.
all in one, we make that area like the area where everybody hangs out.
And the band's gonna be there the whole time?
The band is gonna do it for pre-race start, national anthem, and then that running
You're
music.
talking about the school band that was next to the
Yeah.
side next?
That was.
Yeah,
great.
don't be behind
Came
there.
across the finish line with those guys playing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, they already confirmed the date. They're good. They're
They
good. They're
passed
fine.
this down.
Okay, so I think it kind of covers my notes.
I do want to highlight something because I want us to be very clear about the sponsorships. We have to make sure, and we've had the issue before with other committees, but we need to make sure that. I know sponsors are confirmed, right? Like they'll fill out the form and they'll be like, hey, we're interested in whatever. else. We are not gonna be recognizing sponsors until their payment is received. And I think you guys will understand why. You know, it's been the case before where we maybe honored sponsors and then it's like publicly trying to
Yeah,
get payment
We
and
don't get payment.
at that
but
point,
we'll-
recognition is done.
No worries.
Yeah.
Okay,
So just
if
make
it's in kind, then you have to just go on it like.
Sure.
yeah, well, yeah, at that
Yeah.
point, yeah.
That's-
But at least if we have a form, you know, we try to formalize it, whether they send it to Jonathan or myself like that, you know, the town has documentation of this person's in. And that we'll consider them confirmed as a sponsor.
Okay.
And I did notice that you kind of have, I don't know if you have like a running list from the top of your head or if you have it written. I would suggest maybe using a Google Doc. Where we put the deadline and the person responsible for it, whether it be staff or a committee member. And we kind of can keep tabs on what everyone is doing at that point.
Yeah, let's do a Google Doc.
Like,
Like the kind of the thing you had a checklist.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
like
I'll put that on Google
volunteer,
Docs to share with you guys.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
confirming volunteer, whenever you're able to confirm like answers or, you know, just so we have a running task list and we're not sort of. You know, questioning who's responsible for what.
Good idea.
Yeah, and it gives you a reference at any given point instead of having to wait for a committee update. Oh, no, that made me sound, I'll double check that.
What, a Google Doc?
Just for the sake of sunshine.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, then it's just me, if it's just me with you guys, it's fine.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay,
But we can ask about the other members. just in
Okay.
case.
yeah. It's a task list, it's not a vote
Yeah.
or a decision.
Hopefully that sparks some ideas for the other committee members.
Hi.
Anything else?
I think that's all I have for today.
Anything else? John?
We have any business in the-
Remember, you're in your new sponsorship package, that you were gonna consider the branding that we're gonna do, we already agreed on,
Yep.
like, on the start, finish.
Oh, yeah, now that we
There's all
have,
kinds of new stuff besides.
once we approve the tickets and I guess what the look of the event is gonna be. That'll guide us on the sponsorships, who's gonna go on any potential, I mean, definitely like the finish line.
Yeah.
The barricades, I guess we'll-
Again, and I bring that more to you guys, because it's a cost, right? Like, unfortunately, everything's a cost, so even adding like barricades or stuff like that, like. It would elevate the event, maybe we could charge more for sponsor dollars. for
We
that.
will,
Yeah,
there's gonna be a barricade sponsor.
Oh, okay then,
So what we can do is we
so again,
touch specifically for dollar amounts.
and we can shop around, I will remind you guys that you guys aren't like married to any specific vendor for anything. Committees don't have that,
Right, like I know you said, if the stage was too much. I think that's the stage,
No.
so
the stage-
it's either maybe
it
no
was
stage
sound-
or a
the
different
stage was free,
stage.
wasn't it? They didn't charge us for the stage. It was-
remember, I believe.
Oh, that might have been
It was the sound guy, I went crazy.
Yeah, the power package.
That was.
Right,
sound
so
and
it's
power.
like, you're not paying for the stage, but you're overpaying on power, so it's.
Yeah, we're not doing any of that, that's out, so that's a great cost that's cut.
So yeah, we'll shop around.
Oh, because the band is only the one. the
Only the
full
marching
band,
band, they don't need
they're
anything,
going-
they don't need anything.
Yeah, they don't, you can hear them.
I'm kind of thinking too, for the barricade sponsor, maybe that we'll offer that to our Sweat 440 or our CrossFit people, like one of them, can get that, combine that with the video sponsor or the start, or the warm-up sponsor.
Yeah,
Just.
I would imagine,
Or
I
you
would
could
imagine,
do it for the higher stuff.
yeah, I would just imagine the barricade goes to like
The
a
higher,
quarter, you know.
Well,
if
that's
they
already-
come-
There's a cost of
Yeah,
making.
under me, because that's-
Making the banners to go on top of that, that banner that's made on a piece of the canvas.
Yeah, that's a cost.
Yeah, that's a.
That's why I think it should be just specific,
Oh.
it'll be new money coming,
And
in.
mile
It's not gonna take away
I
from
don't know
the
if
order,
we have
we
to-
already get what we get, like, I think we should.
and the
have-
flags at the mile marker.
Yeah,
that
okay,
sort of
that's
thing.
fine.
Okay, folks, we're starting to,
Oh, we gotta
Go
go,
for it.
it's, no, wait, it's just turning,
Oh.
one more minute,
Do we want to,
adjourn the meeting at 6:29.
is there a motion for that?
I motion to adjourn the meeting at
I
six
second
twenty-nine.
it. All in favor of the subcommittee, say aye. Aye. Okay, meeting adjourned. Meeting was called to order at 18:31, 6:31. Sorry about that. Okay, Mr. Secretary, could you please take roll call?
Mr. Brad, Mr. Foreman, myself. Gary's not here. Mike, Michael. Nicole,
Yeah.
Judy.
Yeah.
Mario, Pedro, and Ed are not here, and Christopher Locke. Welcome.
If you, so we have quorum?
We have
Mario is married, excused for medical reasons. Military, so he was sickness,
And Gary is excused for familial reasons.
and Gary had, fidelity responsibilities.
And if I'm not mistaken, we've done away with the 3 absent.
Right, this is
Yeah.
just for our own record. No problem. I appreciate the updates. Go ahead.
So, if you can all please rise and pledge allegiance, remain standing for a moment of silence. Please face the flag, which pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence. Please take your seats. Do we have any public comments? I would like to recognize the 2 guests we have. First Sergeant Sabatino, correct? Sorrentino. And your officer Alvarez,
Alvarez, yeah.
correct, for Doral Police Department.
City of Doral.
Welcome. Which
Hi.
Doral, right?
Yes.
First Sergeant Sabatino, I'm gonna mess this up.
Sorrentino.
Sorrentino, I apologize. Sorrentino, he is the first sergeant in the Army, correct?
Yes,
Stationed at Southcom.
yes, sir.
Well, it's good to have you, and I saw your name being offered to join our committee, and we will be glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
Same to you for you as officer. I read your biography, little application package. 12 years in the Army, is that correct?
Yes.
And
No, Army National Guard.
Army National Guard,
Yes.
and now police officer for Doral, so fantastic.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome our newest member, Christopher Locke. He's a major in the Army Reserves. He is a doctor of social work. He's a licensed clinical social worker. You need to talk to him, Nicole.
Okay.
So he's a,
appointed me.
no, you need to talk to, yeah, and for other reasons. But the coach is finished getting her master's in social work, and she's gonna be looking into going to the public health service and stuff like that, so. Anyway, so he's a doctor, he's a major doctor. That's the joke I'm going with. Until he gets promoted to Lieutenant Colonel shortly, then there will be more joke. Just to introduce everybody else around the table, that's Lieutenant Colonel Michael Toot, U.S. Army, retired. Judy, she is basically the marketing director for all of headquarters.
CFO.
CFO.
Chief Financial Officer, even bigger. Then for headquarters Toyota, basically, I think I saw on her Facebook, she is one of these most prominent leaders, female leaders in the automotive industry.
Yeah.
You are,
Yes.
you are, Judy, I read it.
Yes.
It has to be true. And it wasn't you saying that about yourself. It was somebody saying that about you. And so she was a guest speaker at a function, and basically she has mentored so many people, male and female, in that profession, and she was recognized for it. Larry Borman, who served as a sergeant in the Army many decades ago. And
I've done a few things since.
yeah. You have Major Bill Knickerbocker, who was Special Forces in the Army. You have Nicole Ortiz, who was a Navy Petty Officer, but now she's getting her master's in social work and will be working for the Public Health Service Commission. And I am William Perez. I'm retired Marine Corps Colonel, did 32 years active duty. Usual rotations in Iraq and Afghanistan. So that's the committee, and so welcome aboard. It's good to have you, Major Doctor.
Thank you.
And so let's get this game going. Okay, do we have any deferrals, additions, or deletions?
Oh, And Jonathan.
And Jonathan, I forgot to talk about Jonathan.
He's our plus one.
He's not quite a member, he's the liaison for the town. Basically, he's the one who keeps us from making a mess of everything.
I try.
Cleans up the
Yeah.
mess.
He does this for a living.
I try.
We do this for fun.
Yeah, basically, I just, on the point of contact between the committee and the staff and. Anything that has to come out of this
Yes.
committee, I'm trying to best to take care of it, so.
And we're very fortunate to have him, by the way, because I have a lot of work. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Any orders of deferrals, additions and deletions? Okay. So reviewing and adopting of minutes, the minutes are enclosed in your packets.
No, the subcommittee meetings are not in the packet.
They're not in
Yeah,
packet.
No,
They're in
I think I put those in there just so we didn't.
Yeah, so
know that we did.
basically, the only thing we can vote on is adopting the minutes from the Veterans Committee, the June 8th minutes, which is item 6C. Can I get a motion on the table adopting?
That's what you want.
Pardon me. We had a discussion in the subcommittee about the.
That's correct.
The costs.
Okay,
And I'll defer to the Colonel to highlight the issue.
Well, I think
It would basically.
I think what happened was, we had a different.
Yeah.
Amount, but they voted on this amount in the committee.
It's correct. I think,
correct.
yeah, it's correct.
That's correct.
My notes weren't updated
Yeah.
to our minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
That's
good.
correct.
It's fine.
But I mean, everybody seemed to remember that was a different amount.
And the subcommittee, but then we brought it to committee.
$40.
Yeah, when we brought it to,
The full committee brought it.
you're correct, Michael. In the subcommittee, it was $40, but when we got to the committee, it was changed down.
so 30.
Yeah.
So it's correct.
I triple checked, him and I talked at the council meeting on, no, the budget workshop for the committees, him and I spoke and. He reminded me about cause I had remembered something differently, I went back to the meeting, so it's triple checked and the pricing calendar is correct.
Yeah.
Or the table, excuse me.
But thanks for, it's always good to
Yeah.
group check it, so good. So we got a motion on the table for, do I have a second for the approving of the June 8th, 2023 Veterans Committee meeting? Second from Larry Borman. All those in favor of review of approving the minutes for the June 8th, 2023 Veterans Committee meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries. All right, going to old business. We had the subcommittee meeting today earlier, and I will leave it to the subcommittee chair, Judy, Chief Financial Officer. To retire.
So we had discussed in our subcommittee a few votes that we're gonna need. We talked about some improvements that were brought to our attention by Isle. Looking at finishers podium. And they just elevate the event a little bit
We'll photo op, it's gonna be a nice.
in front of, we'll do a step and repeat
Right,
again.
opportunity.
Yeah, really nice. We're talking about maybe Santa Claus? We
Maybe
didn't move
Santa
Santa Claus
Claus.
out. And also branding barricades, which like the Boston Marathon has with like the 200 feet at the finish line, and just to keep the people coming in good, and so that's gonna be really nice. And then we're
For
gonna.
background, we sponsor a 5K near December,
Oh, sorry, December 9th is our 5K.
so.
Just a little context.
And the proceeds benefit a veterans.
Cause or
Yeah, cause,
something
yeah.
that we've decided.
Oh, it's amazing. I was there last year.
Oh,
really?
good. Thank you.
Were you running?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
And I won my age, so I would have liked the podium.
I remember seeing you.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you around. You look very familiar. So also, some more branding stuff on the ground. We have a beautiful, graphic that Jonathan brought to our attention, which is gonna look really nice. We do have some items to vote for.
Mhm.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess we'll say that for the end of the talk.
Once you're done with your brief, we
Yes, what else?
on the items.
We have a contract, so we have to vote on that today.
Yes.
Contract is done. The Jonathan and team will be working on the sponsorship packages. We're gonna elevate those a little bit more now, talking about the new opportunities of branding that we're gonna be able to sell and elevate. We are going to eliminate the ban and all the extra expenses to kind of earmark more for our benefactor, which we have a benefactor to bring to the committee for a vote. It's a 501c3. It is Veterans Story Hour. And it's going to be a mission-based effort to educate children in K-6
And adults.
and adults on patriotism and your
Basically, the civics, patriotism, and basically what unites us as opposed to what divides us as Americans. So, but basically, right now, we're really big on what divides us, and no one's really talking about or teaching our kids what unites us. You know? So that's what this organization does. So we have 4 things to vote on, correct me if I'm wrong.
It also
We
provides
need-
purpose to the veterans that are going to be doing the
Yeah.
story time with the kids. So
That's right.
purpose
So-
and fulfillment.
Yeah, so it's for the veterans, since it's gonna be veteran taught and it's gonna be with school kids, and so it does a few things. One, the veterans would receive a little small stipend for gas, and, you know, incidentals, you know, not very much. But what it does for a veteran is it allows them to engage with children. And of course, they have to be vetted and stuff, and they're gonna be trained. There's actual modules, so it's all consistent across very military, like terminal learning objectives, all that kind of stuff, not Navy learning objectives, but those kind of things. But these modules for K-3, and then modules from 4 to 6, and then there's adult courses as well. It's going to be totally different types of things. Apolitical, it's just going to be things like about our flag, you know, the stars, the stripes, the colors, what they mean, who Betsy Ross was, stuff like that. For the adult ones, it'll be more like what's the national security structure, which is something you'll get out of senior level courses like command and staff and, you know, those kind of things, or war college. It's just pure facts of here's what the national security agency looks like. Here's, you know, what's the setup, who's a joint, what's the CJCS, the chairman of Joint Chief of Staff, what do they do, what are COCOMs, those kind of things, very fact, very, you know, non-political. Also one on federal contracting, because we have businesses here and they'll probably be very interested in US federal contracting and how that process works. And then for the lawyer, you know, the bar associations will be one on law war, you know, and, you know, which will delve into things as, you know, the lawful rules of engagement kind of things, you know, unclassified, obviously, and issues dealing with, you know, Geneva Conventions, Hague Conventions, all that kind of stuff. So all apolitical. All informative things citizens should know when they're analyzing foreign policy, et cetera, and when they're looking at the world stage, so they can be informed citizens as adults. And for the kids is so they can understand better what makes America the greatest nation on it, you know, basically. So that's this organization. I'll tell you up front, I founded the organization, and so I'm going to abstain from voting at all on this issue. Because it's a proper thing to do. And if we find another organization to use, we should use another organization. This will be started in Miami Lakes. I don't plan to take a stipend. I'm retired. I don't want that ridiculous money, you know, in my years. So, you know, I mean, so I don't plan to take a stipend. I plan to fund this and seed money with it myself until I get whatever little money they can get to kind of like fund it for the flags, because I'm going to pass out flags for the kids. We got components where, and some of the modules are about each service. So I'm going to pass out an Army sticker, Marine Corps sticker, and with the little ones, I'm going to teach them the Marine Corps hymn, Army hymn, Navy hymn, all those kind of things. So that way they, you know, they get appreciation for the service. They have a little fun. They learn a little bit stuff, you know, and it's actually really rewarding for me because I get to hang around with little kids and they just make me laugh. To be honest with you, that's actually one of the aspects that's favorable for the veterans.
therapeutic, yeah.
It's therapeutic in that way. So that's the organization. But the other things I think we need to vote on is the student pricing for the race.
Yep.
The organization we're going to support. We need to vote on the contract. We need to vote on the budget for digital advertising.
Yep.
Is there anything else?
No, but this is a brand new nonprofit, and we're basically, it's really fun because we're gonna seed it. It's like, this is gonna be a seeding fund to what Bill is mentioning, so I think it's very interesting. We finally have covered all the things we need to do, veterans, Miami Lakes, community, like it kind of, to me, it really hits what I think we can really also attract our runners, and that if they have to choose between a couple of things to do on December 9th, I'm gonna do December 9th run in Miami Lakes. They help them to run, and I'm gonna
Help a
donate
good
to this.
cause.
I'm gonna help a good cause. So
Yeah, I mean,
Jonathan and the marketing team for the town are gonna come up with some really
just fantastic
Yeah,
advertising,
it'll-
it's gonna blow everybody away.
It's probably have a
And, you know, and so you know, we
Yes.
already got, IRS approved it as a 501c3. All the legal aspects are done. It's incorporated in Florida as an EIN, and it's a 501c3, recognized 501c3 by the IRS. So it's not, all the legal requirements have been met. And that's where we're at. Okay, let's, put to a vote the student pricing, the amount. First of all, background, we're giving away 200 free tickets to first come, first served students, you know. But if they don't make it because they decided to wait, then the ticket will
They
be,
shouldn't miss that, but.
they shouldn't miss that. But if they do, the ticket is gonna be $20, which is less than basically it's the lowest price for our ticket. And it only covers, basically only covers costs really for us, the medals, and t-shirts, and all the other stuff. One of the reasons, and you know, Larry brought this up, and we talked about it, that we want to encourage students in physical fitness is, as you probably all know, this nation, and from a national security point of view, has a serious obesity and overweight problem that has impacted recruiting across all services. You know, I know in the Marine Corps, we were really concerned about how do we, you know, our PULE process has extended 2 years so as we get these people fit enough to shift to boot camp. So whatever we can do to encourage physical fitness and a healthy lifestyle to students is something I think we as a committee should do. And Larry was the one who brought that up, so kudos to Larry. So that's why we're giving students the lowest price. I need a motion for approval of the price of $20 for the student price.
Make a motion that we charge students other than the 200 free, $20 for their student price.
Second,
Second by Judy. All right, so there's a motion on the table to approve the pricing for $20 for student price aside from the $200 free tickets. All those in favor say aye. All those against, nay. Okay, the motion carries unanimously. All right, the contract, voting on the contract. Jonathan, can you give us some details of the contract? What's the cost and what's the overall cost and what will you do
Yeah.
for that cost?
So you guys may have to share, because I didn't print enough. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, and I didn't deal with this last year, it's functionally the same as last year's contract. Which basically boils down to really just the timing, you know, having water stations. You know, specific staff from the company that'll, you know, be there to man the event. So if we can actually go through it and. It would probably be. So we have the finish line, which comes with the, well, for starters, it's $6,500 total, I believe.
Up to 1,000 runners,
For
65.
1,000 runners, exactly. That includes their bib, their tag, because this is an official timed 5K, and you know, the goodie bags that they'll receive. All right, from that,
oh goodie bags.
you know, like, well, I guess we're covering the goodie bags.
Yeah.
But, you know, they'll get the recognition. So we have a finish line. That's the inflatable finish line. We're gonna look to brand it, which is gonna be fun. That's on our end again, but. The timing system, cones, the scoring. I think on their side, they bring their own PA system. If you guys remember from last year, it was Ruben. You know, he had his microphone. That was a separate thing from the sound stage. The monitors, the power for the through the venue or generators, that's something that they'll figure out. Of course, the registration and data management, which we have a great database from last year, which is gonna be great. For getting access to people's, you know, letting them know about the new race. On-site registration for the people that, you know, they don't register ahead of time, they need to pick up their bibs at the race, of course, we have that, just in case. The participant materials, again, the timing chips, the bib, everything that goes in with, you know, the official side of a 5K, the timing itself, which again, it's officially timed. It's run through Haku. We have our breakdown of the age brackets. We're gonna be awarding just the top 3 overall, male and female this time. And top 3 male and female in each division. Yeah, so they'll get the awards, but for the ceremony, I don't believe we're gonna be
So the
Awarded.
the top finishers will get trophies.
right.
And then the other finishers will get unique medallions or medals or something like that.
I'll have to double check, but it's basically in our meeting, it was to cut down on
everything, on the
what,
time
what
of doing
became, I
it.
believe, like a 40-minute
Yeah,
award ceremony, and at that time people have tapped out and they
All
realistically.
right, well,
realized-
I want to make sure we have the ceremony for the first sergeant. If he doesn't come in number 1 or number 4,
Retroactive.
you know, we'll have his age category. He may be up there by himself, but I want mine as well if I come in first.
Again, the printed results, number 5, of course, which is where Bill brought up if there was water there. We had the 2 water stations again, cups, coolers. The start line water station, the course directional arrows, the mile markers, which we're again trying to brand. If we can. We're gonna sell every aspect of this to raise as much money as we can, which I would love to do. The traffic cones to lead the course. I'm assuming it's gonna be the same exact course as last year. Staffing, the lead timer, again, this is more on the operational side. The manager, registration staff, finish line aides, and the course manager. I'm gonna double check with the finish line aides, because if we can get through. Work through the AED, working with our sponsorship, idea that we had with the AEDs and the health aspect and tying it into this, see what we can do. We have the marketing that's provided naturally with the race time. Because again, people can find it, they look up 5K, South Florida, they'll find it.
And basically, yeah, that's basically what they're gonna provide us. I think that's all we need to go. We know what we're doing.
Right.
And then that's gonna cost us $6,500 up to 1,000 runners. All right. So. Are there any comments or concerns about the
But
contract?
I missed the part where he's gonna be helping us at a package pickup and giving people their numbers. I talked about, we wanted to like really pin him down to a time, because that was a little wacky with it. I had runners waiting in line at the dealership and it was really aggravating.
I
for
don't know
them.
that it's specifically a.
Probably was the first one there.
I don't know if it's specifically a contract thing, because like last year it changed and,
I
So if-
really-
if you'd
I
like-
wanted to do that.
if you'd like, we can, you.
Well, he has
I
on-site
did, because
registration
you.
kiosk.
So we have the on-site one, what we can do
do
is we can.
Right.
I mean, we can kind of just try and, in the nicest way, beat him over the head with it.
So what
We can
exactly,
set up the meeting.
what's the concern? What-
He was late and then runners ready and I couldn't start
At
without
the
him.
race?
No, at the dealership where we're passing.
yeah, well, to get your, no, not registration, to package pickup, that's where you get your number,
Okay.
and it like, you scan in and it.
Mhm.
you pick
But
up-
you needed him for the scanning in part.
Yeah, to set us up and start it and bring and drop off
In
all
other
the
words, we
bibs.
couldn't do it without him.
Couldn't do that, couldn't start without him, and then people were pissed. We were ready, I mean, I had that thing ready the day before.
And it's 2 days that he needs to be there.
No, we just did it one,
Yeah, I
Why
think
don't you just give us a scanner, we can do that.
we don't need a scanner, it's all on phones, that's no big deal, it's getting the RFI tags and it working, and he needs to be there to make sure it works, like. You gotta program numbers, you had to leave and go back home and fix it, because numbers were missing, and it was not good, that was the only thing.
And were there any people registering at the time as well?
I don't think so, like, the people were there to pick up.
Okay, it's not clear in the contract that he's gonna do that. So, we should. Has this contract already been paid out to this,
No.
No,
And has it been finalized, the contract?
Yes, signed and final.
this is, well, it's not signed yet. You guys have to
Oh, I
tell
thought,
us to go
but
forward with it.
he's done.
He, on his end, it's done.
okay,
Let's
so,
add a clause in there that he's. to
exactly
commit
right,
to
so
it
let's
on time.
table this, let's put
We
them,
can't table it, we gotta get this done, because then we have to,
okay. So what's the?
We need to amend
Do we
it.
have an addendum some sort or?
yeah,
Well, here's the thing, let's do a motion to amend the contract and then approve the contract as
As
amended
amended,
from our
yeah.
side.
So what exactly is he doing?
he needs to commit to coming in at the time that is that is specified for the day before, so it's gonna be December 8th, will be package pickup. Needs to be there at
So
I
be
think we said 10
paragraph
o'clock. He used
D.
to start, he's at 9:30,
Um,
all numbers ready, program ready.
show up December 8th.
But he's paid in full already by the time this happens, right?
Yeah.
He's not, does he pay in full day, game day?
I have to double check,
What's
because it's a
that term?
50-50.
Race day. He's paid final and race day.
Okay, so he doesn't get paid the
doesn't get
last
paid.
amount if he doesn't show
So
up the day before.
well, let's make sure we
Good.
detail the duty. Show up December 8th at
At
where?
headquarters Toyota, we're still doing it at headquarters Toyota, we need to vote on that. Can we do package pickup and make a motion to do package pickup at headquarters Toyota again on December 8th at 9:30 in the morning? They're set up at 10 o'clock. to start.
9:30
I
a.m.
second that.
Thank you.
All those in favor of doing package pickup at headquarters at 9:30 in the morning at December 8th, say aye. Aye, the motion carries. Okay, now we can write that provision into our registration and data management 2D. Show up and at December 8th at headquarters at 9:30 a.m. for what? What do
Package, he needs to come with the bids programmed and ready, bid numbers programmed, ready. The latest 9:30.
So
And what are the hours for the packet?
Also,
pickup?
actually, just
No
make
later
bids and
than.
all supplies needed for, like,
this program
he
ready,
brings a safety
and
pins, I think that's in there, right?
all supplies.
Usually for the program ready and any backup computer that he might need in case.
Yeah, we have, I mean, it's all on phones, it's,
He's got to
yeah,
go home.
yeah.
Do everything.
Yeah, what happened? He just messed up. He didn't download stuff.
Yeah, and he had to go get more numbers and go back home and.
Okay, that's a good suggestion.
But I'm sorry, Judy, packet pickup begins at 9:30.
No, we'll say packet pickup begins at 10. So
But he needs to show up no later than 9:30.
I think he only needs a few minutes to like, we had the table, everything was set for him, all they had to do was plop down the boxes, open them up.
So,
And that goes until what time?
9:30 and 10 sound like good times.
Yeah.
He's there at 9:30.
We start at 10.
Start.
start at 10. Yeah, so for him, it's no later than 9:30. And LT 9:30, 9:30.
And I can't remember last year, we did it till, we actually had it late because people were coming.
Coming from work.
Yeah,
Okay,
6:30.
so until
8 p.m.
6:30.
No,
I'll do 7 p.m. I think it was 7 because we close early now, 7 p.m. Is that okay?
Okay, so
Still have people that come at
I
7.
was thinking
people are doing no 9:30.
Yeah.
Was bid number.
I say 8, they'll come at 8.
Sorry.
Scale it back, planning.
Sorry.
Were you saying, Jonathan, that the award ceremony was like 40 minutes?
It was,
It got, it felt like it,
with 60 million
So we need to make a
trophies.
motion,
to be honest.
motion,
Felt like
then this will be approved
I was
so
injured.
after Judy gets the amendment.
Because one thing is they have tenure each.
She doesn't have it back.
Fine.
No, we.
Yeah, I don't
we-
want to wait. I guess.
We just made a motion
Yeah.
to amend the contract,
Correct.
okay?
And so it's
That
that as
was
amended.
Judy and Michael, right?
I think we made a
Okay.
motion to allow headquarters to be the point to be picking up the
Yeah,
stuff.
pick up.
And so the next motion is a motion to amend the contract, specifically adding paragraph 2D.
So we can approve the contract with the amended, with the amendment on it right here, and then it's up to them to go ahead and approve it again on theirs.
They just, all the contractor has to do is affirm our amendment, and then we're good,
If you're agreeing to,
all right?
approve it as amended,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, okay,
I just don't want there to be like more turnaround.
No, we don't have
all
time.
right, all
Yeah,
right.
we don't have
We're gonna approve with the amendment on it later.
Yep, that's it.
Let me do the motion while I can do it in my head. Okay, so motion is to amend the contract add paragraph 2D to registration and data management, which states that he will show up December 8th at headquarters of Toyota no later than 9:30 a.m. with the bid numbers programmed and ready
And also,
and all supplies required, and will leave once registration is done.
he won't stay the whole day, he just leaves.
But expected time is 7 o'clock.
So the motion is to approve the contract.
Don't
as
say that
amended.
he's supposed to stay
Yeah,
there, he doesn't stay there,
You know,
that's not part of it.
I don't
Okay,
want
so
to,
you
I don't
just
want to
need-
get too.
Okay.
demanding is the-
He just needs to get us
okay,
good to
if this
go.
is ready
so we can
and all
have people
supplies
attend, so we
required.
can- So we
That's
can
it.
announce that people come at 10 and they're not mad because it's ready and they can get their
Did
thing
you
and leave.
Did you get that, Bill? So the motion is
Yeah, I do.
basically
The
amend,
motion is that on December 8th, for package pickup. They will be there at 9:30, already with bibs programmed and ready and all supplies
As required,
as required.
period.
And
For successful 10 a.m. pickup time.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
start at
Yeah, you brought it up.
10:00.
Yeah, for successful 10 o'clock.
Let me check.
So
the
that was the
diaper bag
motion?
and see if there's any in
All
there.
right, so that's the motion on the table. Repeat it one more time.
Okay, the motion is that on December 8th, the contractor will show up at headquarters Toyota at 09:30 for package pickup, already with bibs and programmed and ready, and also all necessary supplies for registration.
Beginning at 10.
For registration to begin at 10.
Package pickup, sorry, it's not really registered.
Package
Yeah,
pickup to be
they're already registered.
at 1000 hours.
Okay,
So that's the.
do I have a second? Do I have a second? Do I have a second to that?
By 9:30.
Second by Nicole. Okay, so the motion on the table is to amend the contract, paragraph, adding paragraph 2D, which states to the effect to show up at December 8th at headquarters Toyota no later than 9:30 a.m. with bid numbers, program and ready, and all supplies required to begin package pickup at 10.
We need to, he doesn't have to be there, he can do it the night before if you wanted to. So we just need to.
All those in
Got it.
favor, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Right.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, the motion carries. Now, the next motion is to approve the contract as amended with the addition of paragraph 2D. Do I have somebody who wants to make that motion?
I make a motion.
All right, Judy proposes the motion to approve the contract as amended with paragraph 2D, seconded by Larry. I have on the table a motion to approve the amended contract, adding paragraph 2D as previously stated. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Okay, Al, well, we actually went through that. That's pretty good. I'm impressed. Okay,
Was that just the contract or, I'm sorry, I'm like a little bit, or is that
That's the
also,
contract.
that also the price of the students?
That's already done.
That was separate.
Yes,
that was
that's
separate.
ready.
We already did that.
We just now amended and
This
approved
is
the
not-
contract.
Huh?
So,
Are we gonna vote the 501c3? Did we vote that in?
yes, boy. I was just so impressed with what we did right there.
Take a break.
I wanted to revel in that.
Make a motion that the 501c3 Veterans Story Hour be selected as the beneficiary of this year's run.
Make a motion.
I just made.
Oh,
the
you made
motion.
your that's your motion, I second it. All in favor?
I can't act on it, so
All
I
in
have to be
favor of-
the deputy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good job.
All opposed? Motion carries.
But I can't vote on it. You have to vote. You have to carry the stuff here. You're the vice chair. Good job.
Okay, was there a fourth item that we needed to vote on?
Yes, we had to vote on the budget for digital advertising. We have a proposal to allocate $2,000 for digital advertising as seed money for the race. Do I have a motion to propose $2,000 as digital advertising seed money? Anyone?
I'll make that motion.
All right, Michael.
I'll second.
All right, second by Chris.
Then they have a required sponsorship.
All right, so the motion's on the table to allocate $2,000 for digital advertising as seed money. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Say nay. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Now, the next thing is there anything else on the subcommittee information? We're good.
I think we're good.
Okay, so the next thing is, there's an organization, it's the Reindeer Run 2023 proceeds. So basically, last year, we made about, how much do we have left over? 17 grand. And there is a organization called Combat Veterans Outdoor. I contacted them, they're out in Texas, basically, they take you hunting, they take you fishing, and stay in the cabin, it's pretty great. But it's limited to those with CIBs, CABs, and combat action ribbons. We have basically, we can probably send 10 to 11 folks. And Of course, we want to send any veteran that has a combat action ribbon, combat action badge, combat infantry badge. To those, they don't have. I don't know how it's, ideally, they should be from Miami Lakes.
That would be ideal.
That'd be ideal. I'm gonna approach the American Legion, and I think we can probably find, what, 6 or 7 buildings, probably 6 or 7 there. That means we need about 3 or 4 more, so I would ask that, you folks know anybody with those qualifications with combat action ribbon, combat action badge, combat infantry badge. Who would want an all expensive, expense paid,
They give like.
I
tackle
suspect you can
box.
approach Subcom and ask them to.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking,
Right,
that's why
Yeah.
I'm looking at the first sergeant, it's like, I'm like going. I'm looking at
And it
it.
can be anybody, it can be any, from any. board,
Any
even-
service,
Yeah,
any,
they have. all
But they have to
kinds
have it has to be a combat veteran. And when I asked, I go, is that a campaign medal? And they go, no, it has to be combat action, so that's very specific. Because I think they bring counselors in there to talk about PTSD,
Sure.
and you know how that is,
Yeah, it's a
combat
combat
folks,
recovery.
advice, those who
But
want
it's
to
all-
bob all day long. Eating Pizza Hut is a whole big difference, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And we've
anyway, so,
vetted them out, I know.
yeah, they're good-
I
they're
know
good
somebody that's
people.
been there
Yeah.
and done it, yeah.
so that's the goal. So if you can find somebody, you too, especially you probably see a bunch in your field because you work for the VA, you work for the Army in that area, so. Yeah, anybody, that'll be great. And so we can then pay them to fly there, stay there. It's a great
Pick
way.
them up at the airport,
Yeah.
take them to the, it's the
Yeah.
game warden of Texas.
I plan to go.
Like their camp, training camp, it's a, I don't know, 100,000 acre lake.
Yes.
Really nice.
I plan to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have the dates?
Usually it always, huh?
That's to be announced, because
To
it's
be
gonna be,
announced?
we're gonna have to find the people, and then there's probably gonna have to be different dates to be.
Yeah.
Pin that many people into a date, that's gonna be the hardest part, is to
Yeah.
get 10 people to agree with the date.
And they'll all go at the same.
They'll all go at the same time,
But at least we know where the money's going.
we know where the money's going.
Yes.
And we have to report that to council, which we might have to reopen the order of business to add discussion on the report, but that's. We can cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. They'll be okay with it. And especially since I think we're gonna be able to build all 10 slots. I think that's not gonna be hard. Last I checked, getting veterans to go fishing and hunting is not a. So, okay, the next.
And it's fully catered by people that come and cook for them, it's really nice, really nice.
Yeah, they can look that up. I mean, it's a Combat
I
Veterans
have the link.
Outdoors, has a website, talks all about it. It's just good.
I've heard it on several podcasts.
Oh, good,
Yeah, it's well known amongst the community.
good.
All right, Veterans Park, if you don't realize, we have a Veterans Park. Basically what we did, is a few months ago, we had this discussion as how we want to improve Veterans Park, and I don't know if you have the pictures, that'd be kind of cool.
That's not
Um,
actually.
And basically, there were structures that we're looking to put in there, like, for example. This is from Bonita Springs, but a clamshell station, Bonita Springs, Florida.
Just give me 1 second.
If you put that picture on there, Jonathan, my respect for you would be like so.
Post it on, bring it to council, it's done.
Like,
No, it's done.
to me, you're just doing digital
Oh,
magic now, I mean, but I,
I don't want to.
I'm easily impressed.
So just- Right.
So that will be right, like, at the end, far end of the field, and, it's ADA compliant, disability compliant. And it has, restrooms, heads in the back, latrines in the back, which is nice, because normally what they do is they put these disgusting freaking porta johns.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th of July it was.
Yeah, that was pretty gross, and I have a pretty high tolerance. For what's gross.
I don't-
And you're
When I saw that, I go, wow,
I-
that's not good. So it'll be like that, and basically, one of the things that, they hold the 4th of July there, but they also will hold jazz in the park. And you're like, well, why do we want to improve Veterans Park that way? Personally, and I think a lot of you guys will agree with me, is
the best thing that helps combat veterans and those who served overseas is anything that gets their mind off of those ruminating thoughts, And so one of the best things is the arts and music and concerts and family time. So there's other committees that want that to be put up as well. So there's something that, we'll look into. The next thing,
What that's all the.
yes, the flagpole. Since we have a lot of ceremonies there, we will set up, a flag display. Ours will actually include areas, holes and stuff to place service flags. The Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Space Force flags. They'll be a little bit wider. It'll also have in front of it the battlefield cross. We already have that. And then we'll be able to do, color ceremony or whatever service, laying a wreath, etc. on Memorial Day, those kind of events. The next one, which was, I think. Yeah, that's that's just an example of a battlefield cross. And this is just an example, something like that. Could be on the opposite side of the clamshell. So one side you have the flag, on the other side you have something like that.
I think isn't there another side of that?
Yeah, there is, it's,
It was nicer, we like the other side of it.
Don't look at that one.
yeah, don't look at that one. We didn't approve the splash pad. That was a great idea what we had. So, it was, a splash pad. So crazy. But anyway, so something of that effect. Probably not that
Another
exact.
summer like this summer, they'll be begging for it.
Yeah, that's right. You were right.
It's gonna be 122 next year, we're gonna need it.
Something like that, but maybe not that design, a different design, but with the service seals and stuff like that on the other side. So you can imagine the clamshells in the middle, flags on one side and that on the other side. So that would be really nice. So that's basically what we're looking at when we're talking about, we drafted a letter, we approved as a committee, these types of improvement, drafted a letter with a phased plan to the council. They have not received it yet, but I'll be briefing them on it in August. And we also drafted a letter to the town council attorney, because we want to set up a Veterans Park Foundation as a 501c3 to help fund these improvements to the park. That way we're not imposing any kind of huge burden on the taxpayers, you know what I mean? So, and quite frankly, people have been so overly generous to veterans and veterans causes. And I think here's a thing that they can see that the whole community can use, the clamshell and stuff like that, and all that stuff that I think we'll get a pretty good support for that. So basically what we're asking the town attorney is, hey, what are our left and right lateral limits on this issue? What can we do? What can't we do? And, so that way we don't run afoul with any kind of Florida committee regulations and stuff like that. I don't think we will, because we have Optimist Park and Optimist Club. And Optimist Club is a 501c3 private organization, and we have a lot of involvement by the town council members, to include several council members who are coaches
And staff.
So we're not asking for anything except equal treatment. And as this committee and as the foundation, whoever it's composed of, than what the Optimist Club is getting. So we should not have any issue. All right. So that's, now you have all the information based on that. So that's a status update. And I'll be briefing the town on it in August. All right, next issue is Patriot Day planning, which is our 9/11 planning. I think we have a subcommittee chair, don't we?
We do. Okay, but one of the things we talked about with the volunteers coming out, one of the major things, tasks in setting this thing up is the actual planning of 3,000 flags. This will be our 4th rodeo in doing that. And, Colonel Coot's been so gracious as to volunteer his expertise and services to communicate with the Goldman volunteers, Barbara Goldman.
I did, and they said they were more than happy to assist us. Originally, we had put these flags in ourselves, who were the committee members, and it was hot, and it took us probably about 12 hours. And last year, we ended up with student high school volunteers. It took us about 2 hours, and we're completely done. And I don't think many of us planted too many flags, as they The
No,
kids grabbed them and they ran with it,
and they
so,
had fun.
yeah, so they, very gracious and supported local high school and supporting us, so they said they'd back out again this year. That's good.
We talked,
They said, yeah, she said, just
awesome.
let me know how many you need and when you need them.
Okay, that's the next one that you're on the agenda. We talked about setting up on the 9th, that would be on a Friday, and having the actual,
The ninth is the Saturday.
the actual event on the 10th, Saturday.
No, the event's on Sunday. Right.
Sunday the tenth is the event.
9/11 is on Monday, I believe.
Okay, on Sunday, the 10th, excuse me.
So we'll set it up on Saturday.
On the 9th, we were talking about setting up. The last time we started early in the morning, we thought that was better, it'd be cooler. We would do the same thing this time.
For setup, yeah.
And then, so we would look for the volunteers to be there, I would think 8 o'clock, 8:30,
Yeah, 8 a.m. sounds good.
8 a.m. Okay, and then the primary people setting up the initial stencil of the outline where the flags go, would be there an hour earlier to get a head start on. We talked about the location.
Who are
of the
those
flags.
people? Who are setting up the stencils or the?
Okay, I volunteer myself. I would hope that Mike has done such a great job in the
Well,
past.
I was thinking the engineer from West Point, he was really instrumental, I thought, 2 years ago.
Yeah, remember-
Especially.
Yeah, when I turned my
Talking
back,
about
we
the-
had line.
talking about the elevations of the hills.
Yeah, the elevation of the hill and lots of things. I think we could reserve his expertise. for him.
No, I'll help.
Yeah.
We can leave them out.
It's good to have 3 Army OCD officers.
Right.
The Marines like, whatever. just
I'm a
flag
student
it down.
member.
So we're looking at volunteers to show up 8 o'clock on the 9th. And we'll probably, my guess is we're gonna leave them up for a week as we did last time. And then we would need volunteers again, put the flags away. And that would be, we would do that, let's see, on following Saturday.
Does that sound good? The following Saturday?
Yeah. And then the same time, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you see a lot of people taking
So,
pictures while
but
it's
on
out
the
there.
water, I have committed on the 9th to bring water at 9 a.m. the cold water, 15 cases.
And Judy will.
From headquarters, we have.
Yeah, we're the headquarter Toyota water sponsor.
Okay, the tents, we talked about tents. The,
Is that okay, 9 a.m. or is that too late?
Will that be for setup and the festivities the following day, or is that going to be another?
I have 9/9/9. That would be, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna put it away for the night and bring the rest out.
Yeah, we put in Mary Collins.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we need water for the volunteer, that's what the majority of the.
yeah.
water.
And then
That's
Mary Collins,
Friday at 9
Put
a.m.
it then, and then
9,
pull them out for the.
8:30, would that be okay? Or
Are we doing the late date?
we're doing 8.
8 o'clock, 8:30.
Yeah.
9, it's Friday.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to look.
No,
Yeah,
9/9, Saturday. 9/10 is the
9/9
event.
Saturday.
Okay, 9/9. Okay, yes. 9/9, 9 a.m. You wanted at 8:30?
Is that okay?
That's fine. Change.
Okay, the location of the tents and the flags. Were we okay where the flags were the last few years?
Well, the tents are gonna be provided by
On the right job. to the farmers market.
the farmers market guys.
Okay, it was divided by the one.
So we look for get 4 tents or 6 tents.
Did we pick those up?
I picked them up.
Well, we picked them up.
I picked them up and I delivered them out there.
That was for Memorial Day,
And
right?
then Jonathan and I carried them inside after the
Okay.
answer.
I was
And then
right.
I gave them back to them when they
And you
came.
get back.
Yeah, so.
So where are we physically going to put these?
The flags or the
Yeah,
tents?
the flags. And the
Where they've been,
same place?
yeah.
We okay? Everyone's okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you're gonna have to figure it out because remember, the flags take up a lot of that space. So the
No,
tents will be farther
That's
back.
behind it.
Yeah.
They'll be different.
Yeah, for 4 tents, there's room.
That seemed to work well because people could sit on the walkway.
Okay.
And we've done it that way with the
Yeah.
trees and marking
Yeah.
it back. So
Yeah.
Okay, so on on the morning of the event, on Sunday morning, we're gonna need someone to come out there to set up the tents and bring the chairs in from the American Common Center. So, that would be, I would guess, past experience, maybe 6, 8 people for 20 minutes.
Is that the side of the field where the flags were?
It's actually.
No, actually,
Much
the-
bigger,
No, it was-
much bigger.
It was bigger.
It starts near the tree.
I didn't
It
look.
goes between those.
It
two
looked like
trees.
Yeah,
It
goes back to the- almost to the
You know
basketball.
what?
court.
Of 6
Have you seen it before?
Didn't we have a drone last
Yeah, I
time?
saw it.
Oh,
You didn't get the drone footage?
Do you, or
Can we
do
get
you
drone
live in
footage
town
this
now?
time?
I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought somebody was bringing a drone.
I wanna hold.
Remember these are,
No, I wouldn't
I
sit
didn't call.
loud. I said.
unless we can get it.
Somebody-
Does anyone have a drone?
Oh, okay.
A drone? A drone?
I know a drone photographer operator.
Yeah,
We had one, but
It's illegal to fly a drone in the public
there were
park.
some
and-
issues.
And also within the Class C airspace. So that's-
Exactly, it's
Watch out,
legal.
like-
On the approach, they'll block it.
Yeah, drones are a sensitive subject. right now
Yes.
for me.
Again,
We wanted a drone, but.
Okay, that's the problem, never mind. All right.
It's a source.
the reindeer run had a drone. Oh, but that's because you had that exception.
Regardless, Bill, what I can do,
flying.
All right, no drone.
what I can do is I'll add this photo to that event form that I'm pretty sure you already filled out. But just so we can be very specific on the art,
Okay, so
wasn't
basically,
on the art, the layout.
we need to set up and a tear down for Sunday, September 10th. We need a group of about 8 people to be there prior to the ceremony. And then we need the same amount to close after the ceremony. Now that we've got the parameters.
It's actually
set-
gonna, the tear down is gonna be easy. You just kind of grab who's lingering.
Well,
That's really the way I.
It takes a couple hours for 2 people to do it.
In theory, it's
A
easier,
group
but
of 8 can do it in a much shorter
when
time.
people leave.
And then what time does the
It's no great
ceremony
to
start?
start with.
Okay, the ceremony, we previously started the ceremony time that the first plane hit the tower, what, 8:50, 4:35, whatever.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't have to be that exactly, 9 o'clock would be appropriate, I think.
Well, especially since we're not doing it on 9/11.
Exactly, so
And so we made it a little bit later, it might encourage more people to show up.
Yeah, that's what I think.
it gets very, very hot. the later
I
you
have
go.
it as 9 AM.
9 AM?
9 a.m.
Okay, so let's stick with 9
Okay,
AM.
let's talk about the ceremony for a minute. I'm assuming that Carl Wright will be in the glimpsing that.
Yes.
We have guest speakers lined up, any invites, anyone?
I mean, I prefer a first responder since it was them that for 9/11.
We had in the past, I'm not gonna mention any names, but we had guest speakers, that, in my opinion, were not prepared to speak to the group. And really didn't credit our ceremony at all. So I think whoever we choose, we should make sure that they're prepared to.
Well, I asked Officer Amador if he could find somebody, a first responder. Do you know a first responder? I mean, you're a first responder.
I do.
Were you on active duty during when 9/11 happened?
No, I was in high school.
Am
I was in high
ancient?
school when it happened.
I am ancient.
That's why I joined the army. Was not
That's-
11. It happened my
that's
senior year, yeah.
I was in
Okay, you
freshman.
guys are not allowed to tell me how young you are.
That's interesting, because there's a lot of people born right after 9/11.
I was too, yeah.
I
I turned 18 September 28th.
Is
And
that
I
what
threw out,
inspired you? Was that? what-
yeah, that's exactly why. I was supposed to go to Marshall for sports broadcasting and I completely changed my trajectory.
I love
You know
the-
what?
I love the patriotism.
I just think we just found our guest speaker.
Do you guys speak?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, he does.
First sergeant, of course.
Maybe. do
First
the-
sergeant.
You know,
speak with
what
authority.
what you did on the Memorial Day event was good. I like the idea, you had a few speakers up there. They spoke specifically about heroes. Maybe we could do the same thing here, talk about a few of the heroes during the 9/11. And have different people come up and read their bio or whatever it is.
That's not a bad idea, like have a police officer read the bio of someone, of a fellow police officer, maybe New York PD that did something heroic on 9/11 and a firefighter. That's actually a good idea.
What was your idea? I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but you took it and modified it, so I mean, yeah, let's let me do some research on that and find them. I'm sure they're on the internet, I can find. Some
We can do
NYPD
the
Fire
same
Department,
thing.
NYPD Police. Folks who gave their lives running in there and, it talks about them and then we can have one of police
Go
officers.
to tunnels and towers and ask them.
Yeah, we can have one of our police officers, our Miami Lakes police officer read like the person's short bio, and if there was a citation attached to it, I'm sure they got some citation.
Yeah.
They can read that citation, and then have the firefighter, one of our firefighters, read a little bio and then citation. We did it for Memorial Day, where we had our American Legion post, and we had each branch read a citation, a Medal of Honor citation. For each of.
For each of the
branch,
services.
each of the services, and that was our guest speaker.
Special.
That was our guest speaker.
We can give the person that introduces you, we give your bio a little bit.
Sure.
And then you can go out and represent, whatever segment of, whoever you want to represent.
Well, I think I want to kind of focus on the first responders, but I think with first sergeant, that you have a story about how that event impacted
Changed your
a
life.
young man. you know,
Right.
at the time, you don't want to know, but a young man at the time. And
Well,
that's
you know,
that's
it's
an interesting,
great story.
that's an interesting story in and of itself, you
Yeah.
know, because they, you know, the military was also first responders. I mean, I was a major when that happened. And,
I've been out a long time.
so, and I completely, I was in the G3, you know, conference center, you know, the planning center. And we're planning, an amphibious assault exercise. And, we're gonna do it off of these, you know, naval amphibious ships that the Marines always float on, and folks came in, it was like, you know, 7:30 in the morning, they said, hey, plane hits the tower, and in that planning meeting, of course, we had all the subject matter experts, so we had a fixed wing guy, and we all looked at the fixed wing pilot. I'm like, can that happen? He goes, it's impossible. We're like, well, it's no longer impossible, because it just happened, we didn't think it was a terrorist attack. And then the second one happened, and then we're like, and the colonel comes in, he goes, drop whatever you're doing, we're now in an OPT crisis management, and we changed the whole planning to, you know, we pulled out the crisis management stuff, and we were gonna make the amphibs hospital ships. Because
Wow.
they expected, so the towers could hold 30,000 people. We're gonna sail the Mercy, which is a hospital ship, but they wouldn't have enough capacity. So we're gonna make all these huge, you know, big decks amphibs, hospital ships, and morgues. And we're gonna send a Marine battalion. And then we also kind of had to execute Operation Garden Plot, which was back then the critical infrastructure protection stuff, which I cannot talk about.
Oh.
So,
This would be great. I mean, so what you're talking about now is something that people really, I mean, you could go to you could go to the 9/11 memorial in New York City, and it doesn't have that type of information. This is something different that people haven't heard.
yeah, but I think we should focus on, I mean, my story is interesting. But I think that the sacrifices of the police department, I think we do the same thing we did with the Medal of Honor readings.
Yep.
With those, and then we have an active duty person who can talk about how that changes life and, you know, how it impacted them.
Can we get a venue, can we get a venue set up for our next meeting so we can vote on it?
We need a venue.
And now, who's gonna do what? Whatever.
Oh, you mean a draft, agenda or order of events, stuff like that?
I mean, we're only 2 months out.
Well, 2 months goes by pretty quick.
No, I'm saying, the next meeting will be August, and then we'll be a month out.
Sure, what I'll do is, since I'm the MC, I'll draft it.
Otherwise, we haven't-
So I'll draft the introductory comments, and then I'll pull up the bios and citation of the officers and the fire department folks we want to talk about, and
The battalion commander to ring the bell again, that was good.
yeah.
Have the police card out again. Who
But
contacts-
that happens after all the speakers,
Okay,
right?
but who contacts the fire department? The fire departments, the fire trucks out there and the police cars.
Well, it's supposed to be Officer Amador, isn't it, our community relations?
I had
officer?
previously contacted the fire department.
For last year.
Okay,
Yeah, and they were the ones then that we focus on them for the same reasons, being the first responders, letting the fire department guys take the lead. That doesn't mean we have to do it, obviously, but then they brought in the bell ringing ceremony.
They brought in their trucks.
And they brought the trucks in, and then they had the firefighters all lined up, you know, behind the.
yeah.
Can you
the podium.
contact them again, Mike?
Um,
I mean, they're familiar with you, you know, to speak to.
I mean, I can, you know, I mean, I just soon pass
They
it
won't
off to
recognize
somebody.
If you want to pass it off to me, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just give me the
I mean,
information.
I don't wanna,
Send me-
you've got a lot of other things doing, but I'd like to transition so that, you know, somebody. Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I have to hang on to the past.
Subcommittee
Yeah, and you're the subcommittee chair, so it'd be
The
appropriate.
colonel here's got more.
No, I think, yeah.
No, you're a subcommittee.
You're subcommittee chair.
Grit when he has.
I'm retired, I'm powerless.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that info, Larry.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
All right.
Okay. Lastly, before we move on, talk about coffee, water and stuff like that. Judy already addressed the water. Coffee, donuts, something the day of the event and kind of past. That's something we can do again. this time?
It again goes back to the report, but since we don't have a 9/11 or a Patriot Day line item,
We have a
we
sponsor.
don't necessarily have the go ahead from council because they are the one that control the purse strings.
not have a Patriot Day?
We don't. We do.
Can we add a line item now for that?
Well, we do for next year's budget.
We
October.
do for next year.
We do for next year's budget.
Right, but right now,
After this.
all we have to do is basically ask council, and since we are going in August, it's it's convenient.
I'm sure we can contact Vicky Bakery, whatever, they'll be happy to. Do this.
Sergio.
you know what?
Sergio,
Ask,
Sergio.
you know what?
They're the ones that
They give
provided
all
that
the
breakfast for
Larry, get with Pete.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, well,
They were really good.
Yes, that was really nice.
But even so.
You know what I'm saying? Just go with Pedro Pio and Pedro will figure it all out.
If we're doing honorariums, we still have money that we still have to think about, and
For the bell.
I mean, we have money in, and that's why I printed out the budget reports.
Well, that's something else we can talk about. What about, National Anthem Singer?
We have one. I already confirmed hers. Brianna, same one we had last time. Mhm.
But the point stands, if we're gonna be paying them, then we,
You need to bring that to your meeting too.
to
To
the,
council.
we're basically asking council, the same way the statute was, do we have the permission to spend this much from the vendors? Because we can't, we have the money, we have the Arbor Day money left over, we have the care package left over, but that's for that. So if we go to council asking,
Yeah,
But
we should lie on it.
if it's under 700, we can make the
We can move
transfer
it.
without asking.
we can move it, but that, imagine, we are moving money to a 9/11 account. That's fine.
Yeah, we have that line item to move it to.
We're basically just asking for.
That was the issue with the boxes, why we couldn't get boxes
It's
Yeah.
to
that,
store them.
I was just.
Get all the flags.
Very common. That was,
Are you
I
gonna-
appreciate it,
No.
because you remember the
They're
whole.
they're in plastic.
I know they're in
So-
boxes, they're in boxes.
They're very common.
American Common Center.
Are we sure they're there?
So,
Yes.
I
No,
didn't
they're
see
there.
them.
Yeah.
They're there.
They're there.
Okay, so we're not, go ahead.
Are we going to get new flags, 500 new flags this year?
We have to contact Farm and Natural if we're gonna do that.
I thought we were going to do that internally.
Oh, we're not gonna go through them anymore?
We talked about that.
We did talk about it. Wait, well, why not ask them for 500 new flags? Just if we have them broken. So. Who dealt with them last time? Was you, Michael? Something else?
Yeah, Larry and
Oh, yeah, so Larry,
as a subcommittee chair.
yeah, he got it.
For that.
I think we're not doing the bagpiper. I think we're not doing the bagpiper.
She had the violin.
No, bagpiper.
The violinist, she
Yeah.
had a violinist there in this one. He was, last
He was
year, he's
good.
been there.
He was good.
So yeah, they'll just have to ask council for.
Yeah,
We have money.
We have everything covered.
The invocation is being done by the American Legion, so we got that covered. We got the singer covered. The color guard is either gonna be, I think it's the town of Miami Lakes police officers. So, well,
They'll be taken care of.
Well, what you're saying is gonna be taken care of. There's no power out there for a sound system.
Right,
So,
but now I know that we'll need a generator.
if we want to use the portable generator, also that hits two birds with one stone. Because while they're setting up and doing, the background music, the patriotic background music can be played through that sound system.
Yeah, I would imagine.
We've done that. in the past.
And if we want a bagpiper without a bagpiper, you can play that through the sound system.
yeah.
Exactly. Maybe you get your bagpipe, you take it, you're not gonna lift it.
It's a little Billy Vanilli bagpipe situation.
Only like 4 of us got that.
Yeah.
The rest are like sitting there going, what?
Great music license.
Is that a Ben and Jerry's ice cream flavor?
Yeah, but now that I know which PA system to ask for and what I need to ask for alongside of it, it will be taken care of this time. I promise.
Oh,
I'm gonna put that in the minutes.
You are 0 for 3, Jonathan. The town is. Oh, the town is 0 for 3. I'm just saying, whatever.
Oh.
Luckily, we have a command voice. You may need to use your command voice for Sergeant if we don't have a PA. That's what I do.
And it worked out.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, I mean, we train for that.
Yes.
That's why we're partially all deaf. All right.
So
So,
we have, but again, it goes back to the honorariums. Are we gonna be paying these?
well,
singers?
so far, all we have is the singer
That's it.
Okay.
for honorarium.
Have we paid the honorarium, not to change the subject, but from the Memorial Day?
Yes, they were all paid. I paid.
Yeah, there. even though you go
But you
back
never
there.
got reimbursed.
No, I just said it's a donation to the town. You're welcome.
But that doesn't improve the system.
No, it does.
No, because I said, what we should do for this time, we gotta file the W-9, correct?
Yeah,
To
that's
get the honorario form, right?
right.
So can you send that to me electronically so I can send it to the singer, fill out?
Because we voted on that and everything. and so we
Correct.
Should have had.
Oh, no, I-
non-action.
So what, you want me to fill out the W-9 and,
Well, I
ask for the
want to
money?
get your money back, yeah.
Okay, whatever. I'll-
I feel like crazy, because I think under $700, it doesn't need to be reported to the IRS. The W-9 really isn't necessary.
No, because they're cutting a check.
We're cutting,
They're cutting a
we
check.
have to make.
They're cutting a check.
They're using appropriated monies to cut a check for an honoraris, they have to file W-9.
Okay.
All right, so
And we're
give
not
me the
doing-
electronic
we're not-
W-9,
We're not doing out of pocket stuff.
we're, okay, send me the W-9. And I will file one for myself,
I just-
and I'll send one to the singer.
Oh, there you go.
He was ready.
Or you don't have a PDF fillable one, my God, the hell.
That's the
2009.
Your personal info.
Well, if you have the form number, you can look it up and print it out.
Thank you very much.
So again,
I could probably do that, yeah, I could probably do a PDF.
You can probably get a PDF refillable.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I just hope,
Next.
I hope I give you guys.
Exactly.
We're in the weeds. Come on, guys, come on.
Come on, it's, we're going over time.
One, I do have the ballot confirmed if one is again. Two, I just hope I was clear with, in our report to council, we have the space to ask to use. Money from Arbor Day or the care package to, if we want to say 300, 400, 500 for 9/11, we have space there.
Okay,
I think we should include that in the report, but we'll leave it to you guys.
Do we want to vote on that?
now, why don't you just send it to me so I can include it in the report?
Well, we have to agree on the report. So I think we just take care of it now or. at the
Okay,
end of the meeting.
so let's make a motion to agree in the report right now. So we're gonna include. Moving money for the 9/11, correct? To pay the
From where?
No, we're
Well,
gonna get-
you're not gonna move it to anywhere, you're just,
Take it from where it is.
right,
take
to,
it from what it is to pay the singer.
it's basically asking permission from council.
Is there
to
anything
use,
else we
X
need
amount
to
of
put in that report or vote on?
I think I have some simple things. I mean, the report, it's attendance,
Yeah, but that's just administrative. That doesn't require a vote. So the only thing that requires a vote is
well,
this money thing, right? A change.
right, but I'm just saying for the whole report, it's gonna be, again, you're right, the administrative stuff, so attendance. Updating council on how events have done, we've only had the Memorial Day event.
Yes,
And then it's the extra, so we're gonna report to them the beneficiaries from last year's monies and the future, the upcoming raise.
yes. And we're gonna report to them the recommended improvements that we wish to make.
Right.
And that I just showed you guys and then recommend to them either we get the honorary approved for the singer.
For which,
The original funding.
Okay, so
do you guys wanna specify which line item that's
So-
coming from?
do you want to hear a motion to move money from Arbor Day to 9/11 in order
We
to
don't have
cover?
a 9/11 line item, so.
So we're basically going to
Spending
use
money.
honor day
We're
money.
gonna use money from Arbor Day for an honorarium to the singer on 9/11.
Correct.
I so move.
All right, second,
I second that motion.
William seconds that motion. So the motion on the table is to use Arbor Day money to pay the honorarium for the 9/11 singer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, so now we got that. Okay, new business. Rosa Nell Hammer.
Okay, what's going on?
Rosa River, the event's gonna be August 4th, correct, Jonathan?
August 7th, that's a Monday.
August 7th, okay. My email was. You got the details? August 7th, what time?
My quiz, I wanna say 11 AM,
Well,
but
you can check your email, I mean, it's not.
yeah, but.
Um,
Oh, no, it's 9 AM.
okay,
9 to
so
10 AM.
August 7th. 9 AM. Just for background, Rosa Nell Hammer is our town's was a Rosita River warship. She's 103 years old. And basically, they're honoring her with a tree in Veterans Park. And a nice cool little sign with that Rosita River, a thing like that, and a picture of her as well, yeah, with a bandana. We can do it, the World War II advertising they had, and a bandana. Eventually, that sign's gonna be replaced with a little a little brick marker for her. This is
that's your-
something we're doing in combination with the Elderly Affairs. Committee.
That's 0900 at Veterans Park.
Correct, Veterans Park, August 7th, inside the Mary Collins Center.
Because we're not gonna have everybody outside.
Too hot.
It's too hot. We're gonna do the ceremony inside. The Elderly Affairs Committee has to kind of come up with how they want the ceremony to go. I mean, they're not expecting me to lead the ceremony. Well, I gotta talk to them. We gotta figure it out. And then we'll walk outside and look at the tree. We'll wheelchair her out, we'll look at the tree and look at the sign and then wheelchair her back in. So pie and coffee and food and all that stuff.
And then the monies from the Arbor Day for the Elderly Affairs tree, was that didn't use our money?
No, so we have not used our Arbor Day money, so we're gonna be using our Arbor Day money.
Yeah, last meeting, we already covered that, so
Yeah, that was already-
we already addressed it, so because we had to place the order ASAP because
Yeah, we voted on that last meeting.
we wanted to, we don't know.
And I already got
Do we
with,
know what the cost was?
Right, so.
Yeah.
For the 45-gallon oak that will be going is $725. We already have the contract with
And the brick and all
the
that?
brick. For some reason in our finances, our system, I can't pull the actual invoice. All I know is every year there's been a $34 charge from a brick, customizing company. So I'm assuming $35 is a safe route to assume that's what it costs.
so that's where we're at.
No, I don't think so, because they put that formed concrete and then the brick and then paint it. And I think it was probably more than 35. I thought it was like close to 200.
Well, they'll figure it out, and we'll sort out aspect out, because we can also, Elderly Affairs can pick up some of the tabs too. So,
And then $85 for handyman, so, that's actually places the brick. You guys. So altogether, it's looking to be. I mean, now that you say the 200, it kind of throws a little bit, but I guess under 1,000. So
yeah,
So we'll still have money.
we'll still have, if it is 1,000,
Mhm.
then we'll still have $500 left over.
Okay.
I don't expect
from the Arbor Day budget.
from the already budget.
Yeah, then we'll be fine, because all we need is $50 to pay the singer, so we're good. All right, anybody have anything else? Basically, those are, bottom is the scheduled events, so the next big one is Patriot Day.
We skipped budget workshop.
Oh, pleasure workshop, that was the one we just had.
What is this?
No.
Yeah, that was the one we had, can we, or is it?
Oh, this was just reference, in case you guys wanted to pull some from somewhere else other than the Arbor Day fund for the 9/11 costs. But I
But
don't
this,
think we'll.
this was this year's budget,
Yeah, that's up
2023.
to like this mark.
And then what is this? It says remember include statute costs.
Yeah,
We were carrying that over from last year, right? 2022.
yeah, I'm making sure it's taken care of with the carryover,
Can you
aspect
provide me a copy of that, please?
of the budget.
Yes, that'd be nice if you, thank you, Chair, we really all.
And don't worry, girl.
Yeah.
So this.
We're starting to nose my eyes are like, someone's gonna turn it to dust right now.
The note here that,
Right,
why is that?
it's just so we don't ask why does it look so low, because it's still, like, we're aware that the statute costs should be coming from somewhere else.
It was already paid for, right?
Yeah. The statute has been purchased. if that's what you're
It's a plaque that we're waiting for.
It's the
So
plaque and we're still.
And
with the
installation.
permits, to
Yeah.
install it, so.
But-
That just explains the 4780.
but the 7,000's already been deducted
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, we've already paid.
Okay,
This is just to clarify this.
this is you're talking about the battlefield fund.
And alongside
Okay.
and to
Because
also,
it just says remember include statute costs, but I'm not really sure what you're saying there.
Okay,
yeah, the available, it's still showing the statute cost because we have already procured that.
all right.
But yeah, it's taken care of. My note may have been a bit vague, but the statute was already purchased and
Yeah, it's not,
that's why it looks lower than it.
it's already here, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, do I get a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank
Well-
you. Anything else?
We didn't necessarily vote on the report.
What do you? refer to?
Just that, I don't know if you want to like run up very quickly what the report is going to consist of, but since we're speaking for the committee, it has to be with the committee's consent.
Well, okay, and I thought I did that, already. Okay. Here's what the report's gonna consist of, basically what our past event was on Memorial Day. What our future event being on 9/11 or September, Patriots Day. Basically, we're gonna discuss the improvements we want to recommend to the park. And that's about it.
Benefactors.
And benefactors for, past reindeer run and the future reindeer run.
This is a written report, you want to get?
No,
Yes.
well, it's
Written
written
and
oral.
oral
And then the 9/11, basically asking council
for the,
for the permission to use it, or not already.
yes.
Which is-
Okay, so I have a motion on the table to approve the contents of the report. Anyone make that motion? Okay, motion made by Bill, seconded by Larry. All those in favor of the contents as I stated for the report, say aye. Aye, motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn? We're not
I
done,
already made
But
that.
I don't wanna drag it on, trust me.
Oh,
I would love to
but
drag it
you are.
But do you have any, I wanted to make sure before we leave, do you have anything to add from the budget workshop that you,
That I saw, well.
from the committee?
Let's see exactly what occurs. I mean, we made our recommendations based upon, I made the recommendation based upon what we voted on. So let's see what the town decides to do. That's basically it.
Yeah.
So it's a wait and see.
So did I have a second on the motion to adjourn?
Already money that we don't use for the 9/11 money and put that as a permit for the clamshell? Engineering.
Little, very little bit in that clamshell.
You can bring that up now at the end.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, great, guys. Great meeting.
Thank you.
You know,